Gaming news today is all about seeing behind the curtain. First, after hearing that PlayStation was not doing any events until September, we now have a reliable source saying that something will happen in June. But the question is, will it be part of Summer Game Fest or something later and very different? Second, Bungie is now being accused of worse than just art theft. Something that I tried to draw attention to back in 2021 is now coming to light, and it's great to see that the truth always comes out, and it kind of feels like we're just getting started. Third, more info has come out about the Lies of P difficulty settings that they'll be adding with their DLC to the base game and the DLC, and I honestly found it very surprising. We're going to look at the hands-on previews, and people are kind of saying why this is a big shift for the game and maybe even for the genre. And as always, I do have a game for your wish list and your radar. It'll be sort of a first impressions. My wife and I checked out a game last night, so I could give you guys my thoughts on it. So if you're watching this on YouTube right now, quickly go through that ritual. Hit the thumbs up, the like, helps out immensely. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and if you're watching on Twitch, also make sure you're checking out the YouTube. A way to support me so that I can do this full time is to use your Twitch Prime. If you're paying for Amazon Prime, you have a Twitch Prime sub every month. You have to do that manually, or you can pay for a sub on Twitch, never see ads. On YouTube, you can pay for a Member Plus. It's $6 a month, but you get into all these extra shows. We now have a new feature on the channel where I can create streams for members and send us to them right away. And that's something you're not going to want to miss out on. So go through all those rituals of support, and there's a lot to discuss here. So we're going to kind of jump into it. It seems that PlayStation was going to skip the summer entirely, hearing that they weren't going to be doing anything until later in the year, opting to sort of skip the showcase season. But now, according to a reliable insider, they will be doing something in June. But the question is, will it be a state of play? Will it be a showcase? Will it be during the Summer Game Fest week? Well, according to Jeff Grubb, an insider who has gotten state of play predictions consistently correct, he said that Sony will be doing something in June. He does not know whether or not it'll be a showcase or a state of play, but he is leaning towards state of play, and I kind of agree with him. I think it will be June the 5th. That's a Thursday before Summer Game Fest. That's kind of my prediction. But the plot thickens because Detective Seeds also tweeted about this around the exact same time, and he is another insider who has proven to have sources at PlayStation. He said that it will be the week before Death Stranding 2 and have a runtime of 40 minutes, and I honestly don't know what to think. My gut says that PlayStation would not skip the Summer Game Fest week. They have consistently kicked off the week at the very end of May or very early June. I could also be convinced, though, that Death Stranding 2 is their biggest game of the summer, so they would let Kojima do something with Jeff Keighley at his kickoff event, and they could promote the fact that a state of play was coming later in the month, and then they save Ghost of Yotei and other big announcements for whatever it is that we're hearing about they're doing in September. Either way, it seems clear that PlayStation is not skipping out on doing something in the summer. It's just a question of if they're involved with Summer Game Fest or deciding to sit it out and do something with Death Stranding in a state of play later instead. So what do you think they're doing? Are we getting a showcase or a big event in September or June? Multiple sources have claimed multiple different things. Let me know in the comments below, or you can come discuss it in a live stream. We also have more info and more to say about Bungie. This has been a bit of a wild ride for them as they've continued to deal with the art theft controversy, as well as just if Marathon comes out or not. So let's get into it. Well, if you thought the downfall of Bungie was done, you'd be incredibly wrong. This has changed from a slow-motion car crash into something that feels more like a multi-part documentary that isn't finished yet. In case you missed it, in the wake of Bungie getting caught stealing artwork for Marathon and handling it in a pretty misleading and unprofessional way, more stories are coming out about the company. We've heard from former employees that working on the Marathon team was, quote, toxic, that 5 years of feedback and concern about Marathon was ignored by the leadership, and now we're hearing things far worse about the company as a whole. Destin, who was formerly at IGN, has been working and talking with former employees to put together coverage on this. He said the following, quote, ex-employees claimed that HR was working in their own interest, and there were accusations that issues of harassment were being covered up so that HR could get a multi-million-dollar exit. Now, sadly, I tried to expose this in 2021 when IGN wrote what felt like a puff piece for Bungie, brushing misconduct under the rug and painting Bungie like a hero trying to do the right thing. To me, it was obvious the culture at the company had not changed and that guilty parties were being protected while victims were being silenced with money or with a retaliation culture at the company. Well, it sounds like that is exactly what was happening if HR is now being accused of covering up issues of harassment. It's simply stunning to think about the history of this company, their statements, their behavior starting in 2020 all the way to now. I would say, oh, how the mighty have fallen, but it seems they've been fallen all along. What do you think? Is this the beginning of the end of Bungie? Will Sony, if ever, be able to step in, and when will they? Let me know in the comments below, or you can come discuss it in a live stream. So that story obviously will probably get us into some debates today, but this next story will probably do the same. You might have missed this, but Lies of P is adding difficulty settings to their base game when the DLC lands. And while disagreements and questions remain about the controversial decision, hands-on previews are landing and it's sounding very different than I expected. When I tested the easy mode in First Berserker Kazan, I found the game to still be very challenging. You still had to get your blocks, your dodges, you still had to play the game as it was designed. You simply took less damage, you used less stamina, and you did more damage to the enemies. Basically, it made your survivability higher. It was not, as I would describe, an easy mode in other games where you can sort of button mash your way through. Now, I expected something similar with Lies of P, given how perfect blocks are central to the game and how it is a very challenging game. In other words, I expected it to be still very hard and maybe just do something like Kazan did and increase your survivability. Well, according to one hands-on preview, that is simply not the case. They are actually adding 2 difficulties below normal. One, the lowest one, according to Game Rant, is, quote, laughably easy. Now, keep in mind, this is Lies of P we're talking about. If they're describing it as laughably easy, then I would say this mode is not just like lowering the difficulty. It sounds like a genuine, honest-to-goodness, easy mode. Now, this will likely open up the game to a lot more players, but this has been a discussion for a very long time. People have argued that From Software should add easy modes to their games to make them quote-unquote more accessible and more approachable. We're now getting into territory where people are claiming difficulty is a part of the accessibility discussion, where accessibility efforts typically try to make a game accessible to those who have to use special controllers, or maybe they are colorblind, and those special controllers are commonly because maybe they're missing fingers or an arm or a hand, or maybe you're like the guy who plays Call of Duty with his mouth. In any case, those accessibility efforts, I think, are quite noble and good, but that doesn't mean that every single game has to do them, and it certainly doesn't mean that every single game has to offer an easy mode. This discussion and debate simply centers around these types of games because that's part and parcel to their identity. Because of that, I imagine that this decision that Lies of P has made will draw a lot of criticism from fans of the game who have already beat it on the base level difficulty. They might feel like that's being cheapened, but they might receive even more criticism from the broader Souls-like fan base at large. They may think that you're basically changing the fundamentals of the game simply because you want more people to be able to play your game. I commonly have said, when From Software or other games decide not to put an easy mode in their game, you have to respect the art. You have to respect what is called authorial intent. The intention of the author is to create this thing, and that's how they want it to be, and that's how they want it to be played and experienced. Well, I constantly would have to then bring that back up and push back on people who would be frustrated, like when Baltius had his difficulty lowered in Armored Core. I said, well, you have to respect the intention of the author. If the developers have determined that the fail rates are too high and they're tweaking the fight to not make it such a wall and such an exit point for people, you have to respect their intentions. The blade cuts both ways here. There's 2 sides to this. If we're going to respect companies and games and developers who don't want difficulty settings in their game and they only want it to have one setting, you also have to respect the other side of the coin, which is companies that decide to add an easy mode, whether it's First Berserker Kazan or, in this case, Lies of P. I will say I accept the pushback that this is a little bit different. The main reason being this game is already out. People have already played it. They've already beat it. They've already rolled credits on the normal difficulty. I do think there should be some level of achievement or checkbox or something to indicate those who have beat it on normal and those who have beat it on easy. I, for one, would go back and test this myself, as the swamp monster promptly kicked me out of this game and I just wasn't in the mood for it, but I may be able to go back now and roll credits on a game that I thought was beautiful and didn't quite get the review outlet treatment that I believe that it should. The user scores are significantly higher. So, what do you think? Does this change your opinion about this game? Does it change your opinion about these types of games in general? Should they do this? Should they not? Let me know in the comments below, or you can always come discuss it in a live stream. All right, and now I've got a game for your wish list and your radar, and I played this last night, so I wanted to give you guys my first impressions of this one. I'm going to stop recording. We don't need to record this section. Okay, so Linked Banner of the Spark came out yesterday. It's been in early access for a long time. Well, maybe not a long time, but for a while on Steam. Essentially, it's a game where you go on runs, you go on missions, you come back, you can build and invest in your little town, and you can play co-op as well. Now, this is going to sound strange, but this game has influences in it that I also found present in Towerborn. They're very different in execution. One is sort of the side scroller. This is more of the isometric top down, but they are very similar in that they portray the game as being sort of this loot build-centric game, and yet it's very much mobile gamified. You go on missions, and then you always come back to base, and then when you come back to base, you're sort of spending resources to level your things up, okay? And so if you're really, really big on loot and having builds, this may or may not suit your preferences. One of the things about this game in Towerborn that I found almost immediately uninteresting is that you don't actually have loot. You're sort of on a linear path of just like buying the next weapon or buying the next thing up. Like it's a little bit stronger, looks a little bit cooler. And then when you're on runs in this game, you get things to modify that weapon. It's got like roguelike elements. So anytime you're out on a run, you're going to find chests. You open up the chests and you can get a weapon, or there's a blacksmith, there's a weapon guy at every checkpoint, and then he can level your things up like a rogue. And then when you go back, all those things are gone and they're all reset. The base level of the weapon goes up as you level and as you invest in it and all of that. I find that to be very thin. Like, it doesn't seem like something that really draws me in. The gameplay loop is quite fun, but that element of it, you just need to know. I felt like in Towerborn, you actually had a little bit more control over your loot and your kit. It felt a little bit more close to like an actual RPG. In this game, the loot and your build and your stuff feels a little bit more tenuous. Again, it feels a little bit more like that mobile game where it's been very, very simplified. It kind of feels like you're just on this linear path of always heading towards the next version of the weapon, and then the roguelike elements come in when you're playing to then enhance the weapon and your build as you go. And I had some pretty fun builds. Like, I had some pretty good perks on my weapon at one point. My wife had one at one point where anytime she used her special attack, if it killed an enemy, it would immediately give her special attack back. So there are some very, very fun builds and some very, very fun things in the game. I just want you to know that that element is there, and that can be a turnoff for some people. Now, within the actual gameplay and the gameplay loop itself, I will say it is very, very fun and flashy, but it doesn't do great with player feedback. There were times where I thought I was doing great, and then all of a sudden I had no health and I was dying. There were times where I thought I was taking a ton of damage, and I was taking none. My wife experienced the exact same thing. She said, "Oh my gosh, I just took a bunch of damage." And I'm like, "No, you didn't. You're full." And you can't like run over health by accident. You have to go and like pick it up. So she didn't like run over health or anything like that. And then there was another time where she thought the same thing. She's like, "I couldn't tell I was taking a ton of damage," and then she was very low health and almost dying. So with as frenetic as it is and fast paced and how much is going on the screen, there's just so much happening. They could probably do a little bit of a better job with enemy telegraphs and signaling that you are taking damage, because thinking you're taking damage when you are not taking any at all, and thinking you're playing really well when you're actually taking a ton of damage, that's not a great feeling. It's sort of like you're not really quite sure are you playing well or not? Like, is your rhythm, is your execution of the actions, is it good or not? It's difficult to tell, what's the right strategy and so forth. But it is fun. We had a good time with it. We're gonna play it tonight for members tonight on Friday night, and we'll try to kind of show you what I mean about everything I just kind of talked about. There do also seem to be some enemies that they can just kind of attack you no matter what. Like, even if you're wailing on them or hitting them with heavy attacks, their attacks just kind of, pierce through. So it's got a great vibe. It's got a great content loop, but it does have that mobile gamification. And then I did take issue with some of the player feedback when we were actually playing. So that is out now. It's called Linked: Banner of the Spark. It's not a very expensive game either. Let me give you the price here. Yeah, it's only $25. It's got a great score right now on PlayStation, but it only has 11 ratings. But it does have a 4.91, and I believe it has like an 80-something on Steam if you go and check it out. So that's the show open. Now it is time for the discussion, and I've got some people to thank. So Jay Hart did a Member Plus renewal. Bullneem did a Member Plus renewal. Joker Quinn, Han shot first and so did you. First gifted member of the day. And then a Member Plus from John Purdy says, happy to finally be able to do this. I'm a UPS driver and I listen to you every morning on my hour and 15 commute. Keep slaying. So John, if that's an upgrade, that counts as 2. So let me know what that is. So I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 that I need to add for YouTube. And whoever hits it gets it. The next milestone is 650, and you guys have gotten us already very, very close to that today. And the stretch goal has been hit. The main goal has been hit. So we will do a Friday night stream. We will play a video game. We always kind of pick a game each week that you can make us play. We will play Banner of the Spark tonight to kind of show it off to you guys. And then the final stretch goal is I'll let you hear some more of my music. You guys have been asking about it. I've got some new song, a lot of new songs. I'm like writing sort of ferociously. And another gifted member comes in from Scrump Daddy. Thank you so much, Scrump Daddy, for bringing that in. I'm going to count John's as a single right now, and that puts us at 645. We're a 5-bomb away. We are a 5-bomb away from the next milestone. It's anybody's to grab. If Twitch does the 5-bomb first, YouTube, whoever does it first, I've got everything right in front of me, so I know who does it first because it hits the chat logs. So thank you guys so much for the continued support. And YouTube, make sure you're smashing a like button. Try and get us to 200 likes. And Wired Rope does it. He steals it. He gets it. The alert popped out, so you know I'm not kidding. He got it. 650. It goes to Twitch. I now owe Twitch 5. And Siriu comes behind with another one just a little too slow and manages to get us to 655. But be careful. We are now a 20 bomb away from the next milestone. So again, that's anybody's. Any heavy hitter drops a 20 bomb right now, you will skyrocket us to 675, and that is the next milestone. Every 25, I gift 5. And a 10 bomb comes in from Nobody, and he's going to make it a little bit easier on YouTube to maybe try to steal it back. Steal it back. They got the first 5. You guys can get the second 5. Thank you so much. And increasing YouTube's lead as well on the day. Steer was first. No, I have it all in front of me, boys. No way. No. You have to remember there's stream delay. I would not play games with y'all on that. I have it all right in front of me. I can tell who wins and who doesn't. Like, Wired Ropes hits, and Sirius is up there. It hadn't even popped through yet. That was the downside of changing the game modes. Maybe they'll tweak it more later on. I'm mad Warhammer isn't coming to the Pro. I wanted the Pro Enhanced version of Warhammer. Have they said... I don't think they're going to speak to this. I wouldn't... That might be a timed exclusivity thing, or maybe not. Can you play the original version on the PlayStation right now? People were saying that it was PS3. And so I don't know. Maybe it's harder to get the version because isn't there issues with PS3 versions of games coming over to PS5? It might not be as easier. It might not be as easy for them to port it. I don't know. I don't have a dog in the fight because I'm not interested in playing it. But Deliver at All Costs is free on Epic right now. They offered me a code, but I just didn't think that was going to be like my kind of game. To stream, so I politely declined the code because I don't like. I only ever like to take the codes when I'm going to actually cover it, and I was like, I don't think I have time, and it also didn't look like one that would interest me all that much. It seemed really out of nowhere. I joked this morning. It was like, we haven't seen one of these in a long time. Like, something exclusive for Xbox. I was very shocked. I was like, oh, wow. Like, we have gotten so accustomed, like, very quickly. We've gotten very accustomed to, like, Xbox doesn't really get exclusives anymore. And when all of a sudden they did, I was like, oh, well, there you go. There's a W for the Xbox boys for the time being. If that's, I mean, I don't know if it's going to stay or not. I don't know if they've said anything to it. Like, I don't know if they've spoken to, aspirations to bring it to other platforms or not. If it's in some kind of a contract, they probably won't say anything about it. They'll probably just treat it as an exclusive. I doubt it's because of Microsoft. There's probably other factors. Which game? They just did like an enhanced edition of Space Marine. They just announced it yesterday. Was it? And it was like kind of like basically like a shadow drop, right? Or no? Does it have a release date? What's your favorite weapon with Doll from Borderlands? Oh, I couldn't even tell you. I honestly don't remember. I don't remember all the weapons. Does it have a? I can't remember. Does it have a release date, or do they shadow drop it? I wasn't interested in it, so I looked at it and thought, hey, that looks really cool. That's good for them. And Wilbur is going to secure it. Wilbur is going to secure it for Team YouTube, and he gets us to 31 for YouTube on the day and 675. We are exactly 25 members away from the stretch goal, and Destroyer is going to subscribe brand new over here on Twitch, rounding Twitch's total out to 10, making a little bit more respectful in the daily contest, and that's an Agent of Chaos pushing us past 675. Team YouTube always says MTO. Arc Raiders think they have found a release date. They think they found a release date. And CJ Catrone. Wait, I always messed your name up in the past, didn't I? Didn't I always mess your name up in the past, CJ Catrone? Didn't you correct me once? I do this under protest. I'm Team YouTube. Well, thank you so much for 29 months over here on Twitch. That is a very, very long time. Thank you very much. And that takes us to 11 for Twitch. There are rumors that Arc Raiders are going to do a shadow drop. I mean, that would be a smart call. I mean, that makes you kind of viral. I changed it because you kept getting it wrong. Okay. That's right. I remembered. Like, as I said your name, I was like, I think this is a name I messed up all of the time. And I know what Stone Spire is going to do. So you're going to want to get ready to drop a 20 bomb. Okay, get ready. He's doing his setup. He's going to do 3 singles. This guy is so faithful with this. I'm just going to do it one at a time. We're going to do this in order to ensure. And there comes the other one. We're now at 679. It's anybody's to snag. His third one's coming any second. This guy is the master of baiting the big ones. There it is. All right, we are officially at 680. So it's anybody's. It's anybody's to snag. And Twitch, you're already on a hype train, so that would be a great reason. That would be a great way to upgrade the hype train. The record on the channel, I think, is level 12. Yes, he is Vithusa. I'm not going to say that, but he is. He is. Baiting is something he is a master of. I will say it the opposite way. Joker Quinn is going to make that 20 bomb an Agent of Chaos if it shows up. He just does a single and gets us to 681. Joker Quinn sort of ensuring that we have another stretch goal. I don't know what we're going to think, what we're going to do. Oh, maybe we could do that. We could do that. If we get all the way to 800, I would maybe let you guys hear a full song. I don't know which one. I've got a shorter one that it made on its first try and was like incredible. Maybe I'd let you hear that one, like a full song. If we hit 800, that would be fun. I'm gonna let you guys hear the music no matter what at 700, but like a full song is kind of a big deal. There was a game that did that recently. Like, you did too much damage on a boss, it could trigger an extra phase, but if you took too long, you skipped it. I don't remember. Did they do that in Destiny? Did they do that mechanic in Destiny? That does sound familiar. Okay. And we need 200 likes on YouTube. I just pressed pause on the thing that you guys, you know what I'm talking about. So I just pressed pause on it. So that should put a stop to that for now. I am sorry about that if that continues to happen. RPG Gaming is going to gift one to help the hype train on YouTube. Thank you so much. And he bumps the line to 682. Thank you so much. And that does bump Twitch to 12. Oh, wait, did I add? I didn't add these 4 to the contest. So we've got the 3 from Stone Spire. That would take us to 35. There we go. I forgot to add those. Top of the AM. Yo, what's good, Snoop? How are you? Stream update for the game lasting 9 minutes yesterday was added, and it added a new exe file. When opened, it displays a window with base 64 strings. One decoded string links to a countdown website ending on June the 6th. Coinciding with Summer Game Fest, suggesting potential news. I could totally see them doing that. I could totally see them doing a shadow drop with Keeley. Yeah. There are Mind's Eye reviews that you see. Yeah, they sound about like what I expected. That game is in a rough state. I don't believe that game is ready to ship. It looks very, very rough around the edges. I told people that something didn't seem right. Copyright issues in GTA 6 could be delayed again. I swear, if it's this freaking idiot again claiming trailer number 2, just ban this guy off the platform. He just keeps doing false claims. Filter, copyright issues, copyright C details. Yeah, trailer number 2. Content used. Grand Theft Auto trailer number 2. See details. Who's claiming this? Take-Two? On behalf of Rockstar? Are you serious? They're going to start claiming trailer number 2 now? They never did that with trailer number 1. That should be disputable, right? I'm going to dispute that and say it's transformative. That's transformative. It's brand new content. I don't even know if the music is playing. They're saying it's from 308 to 402. Yeah. Oh, no. It's the original. I'm sorry. It's not Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer number 2. It's Grand Theft Auto 4 trailer number 2 is what they're claiming. Let me see if I can blur it. I don't want to fight them. If it was trailer number 6, I don't know. The final boss enters the area. They're claiming GTA trailer number 2 for GTA 4. They do this with another game. Anytime we try to use, I think it was Red Dead. Anytime we ever tried to use Red Dead, they would claim it. They've been known to do that. I'll just trim it out. Forget them. I don't freaking care, you losers. Like, imagine copyright claiming a trailer that has no audio playing and it's me talking over it, completely transformative. It's a news segment. It's not at all just a re-upload of the trailer. Frick you. It, like, companies like that, it literally makes me not want to cover their stuff or use their stuff. Or no, it makes me want to cover their stuff and just never show it. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll make money off your game, but I'm not going to show your trailers if you're going to be weird like that. Like, how many outlets did you let re-upload your trailers over the years, and you're going to take issue with something that's, like, blatantly transformative? Like, that's stupid. It's like, I would be 100% okay with it if it was just like a one-to-one re-upload with the audio and everything, but it's like, it's in a giant 2-hour-long stream. It's not like a quick video of a re-upload. The trailer's muted, and I'm in the corner talking over it. It's a news segment. Like, that's transformative. You should not be able to claim that, but I don't know. This is the company that's in charge of 2K Games, one of the greediest companies gaming. Well, that's what's weird is they're not doing it with GTA 6 trailer 1 or trailer 2. It's GTA 4. Probably AI. Yeah, but it's an old stream. It's like weeks old at this point. It's not like we just did it yesterday. Lesson learned. I mean, we won't use that. We won't use GTA 4 trailer 2 ever again. Like, who cares? That's ancient history at this point. GTA 4 remake confirmed. It does feel like, yeah, they're suddenly taking an interest in that game. Like, didn't they shut down something recently, like a mod or something, and people thought it had to do with the GTA 4 remake or something? I don't know. Yeah, they're probably going around and being like ultra protective of anything that's about that game and that trailer, maybe. I don't know. That's literally what my segment was about. It was about the rumors about the remake. Just show the trailer for the original release of GTA 4 behind you. That's literally what I did. It was the second trailer. I was down in my little circle, and I had the trailer running behind me, and they claimed it. I don't know. It makes me want to, I don't know. It makes me want to not cover their stuff. It just isn't worth the trouble. It's like, okay. I'm sure it happened to streamers before the trilogy release. I think I remember seeing that. Like before the remastered trilogy release, I feel like I remember seeing that like people were getting hit by false claims. Super weird. If the GTA 4 remaster is the same as the trilogy, yeah, hopefully not. That was pretty bad. That was pretty embarrassing. That was pretty bad. Anyway, that's a giant distraction from the topics. All right, we got a lot of things. Okay, we've got the PlayStation Showcase update from Jeff Grubb. We've got, more stuff being exposed on Bungie. We got this Lies of P easy mode, which I'm gonna give Creature the video now. Videos, captures. That's the one from today. Let's do this. Show open. 523. 25. I did a long enough segment for Lies of P. That's a 4. I don't know when we could run that whenever. I made sure it ended up being 4 minutes. You see how bad Hassan is falling? He's on the major news getting criticized. I don't think that's going to necessarily hurt a guy like him, though. That's kind of like an any press is good press situation. That would be like, I think anybody that size, you end up in major, news outlets. I don't think that hurts you. I don't think so. Jaster gifts a member over here on YouTube. Thank you so much, Jaster, for doing that, getting us to 683 on the week. The contest between the platforms is again increasing for YouTube over Twitch. Liza P easy mode. What's that? Well, I know you're making a joke, but okay. So what's good, Feed? I see you in the chat. Okay, so basically, Lies of P will be adding difficulty settings with their DLC. Okay, and hands-on previews are coming out. And Game Rant said that basically the base level game difficulty is going to get 2 difficulties added below it. So what it's going to look like is, it's going to look like the base level difficulty is like hard. And then you're going to have whatever's beneath it and then like the lowest. And Game Rant said that the lowest difficulty is laughably easy. I'm extremely interested to see if that's true. And a great way to experiment with that is going to be for me to boot up my save when the update hits and to fight the swamp monster. And to see. It's always been in the game. It becomes the highest downloaded mod to unlock it. Oh, it was always in the game, and it became the highest downloaded mod to unlock it. Unique downloads 22,000. Doesn't seem like that many downloads for that game. It was viewed 160,000 times and only downloaded 22,000. There's no point of adding difficulty when your game is a Dark Souls game that already gets tough, so why add it? Sneaky Wolf gifted a member. Thank you so much, Sneaky Wolf. They said it's to open up the game to more people. I think it's because their game is so artistically driven. It's also tied to a classic story. And Risic comes in with a single and gets us to 685. Thank you so much. Each platform, I owe 5 right now. Whoever hits it gets it. I owe 5 to YouTube. I owe 5 to Twitch. So, and a 10 bomb comes in from Risic, and he just made it really, really easy for Twitch to steal it. We'll see if Twitch tries. We will see if Twitch tries. That's going to be a 49. And and Jaster comes in with a single, and a 5 bomb comes in from Risic, and there it is. There it is. 701. All right, so the current incentive now, is, and that's going to be 6, that's 55 on the day. You just made your mic pop, sorry. The current incentive, you guys have unlocked tonight, you've unlocked us playing, you've unlocked me showing you more music. If that hits 800, I will let you hear a whole song. A whole song. I've got one that I'll let you hear. It's shorter, and I just made it recently, and I'll let you guys hear that one tonight. If you guys go all the way to basically, like, what is that? That's like third stretch, isn't it? Yeah, that's third stretch. No, not the synthwave. Not the synthwave. I'm talking the music that I let you guys hear last night. What about our candy burning? That's for the next milestone of Member Plus, the candy burning. That's like 700 Member Plus and above. BTX Gaming jumps back in with a Member Plus over here on YouTube. If that's an upgrade, let me know. Those do count as two. Really regretting the Xbox Series S, says S. Murphy. I played through Lords of the Fallen, and what a terrible experience. The game was good, but Xbox S couldn't keep up. Oh, the Lords of the Fallen 2.0. And Jaster's going to gift one. Thank you so much, Jaster. And he bumps the line to 703. I appreciate it so much. I just write the lyrics, Joker Quinn. I just write the lyrics. I've always been a bit of like a lyricist and a poet since I was a kid. And I started writing lyrics about everything that had happened to me over the last 5 years. And I tried this AI tool, and it's been mind-blowingly impressive. Like, I'm kind of blown away. I really honed in on a sound that I liked. So I went back and I started changing all of the songs. I rewrote a lot of the lyrics. I'm learning rhyming patterns. Certain rhyming patterns get me closer to the result that I want. I'm using Suno, S-U-N-O. Certain rhyming patterns get me closer to the result that I want. I get a little too wordy sometimes. That's probably hard to believe, right? I get a little bit too wordy, and then it starts getting into like rapcore, which I kind of liked when I first started doing this, and now I don't. I'm like, yeah, that's not the sound I'm going for. So I'm having to go through and be more condensed, more concise, more punchy with the lyrics. And a tip just came in from Phil McCook, says, play Lords of the Fallen best on the PS5 Pro and PC. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Tip, Phil! Just got in. What are the updates on the PlayStation Showcase? Okay. So, basically, yesterday, we ran with the story that there was going to be nothing from PlayStation until September. There was a reliable insider, and that's what he does. He gets info on PlayStation events, okay? He gets info on PlayStation events. And he said PlayStation's not doing anything until September. That, to me, signaled they're doing a showcase in September. It's something big. We know they've been planning something for a while. They keep calling it an event, is what Detective Seed said. Just yesterday, Jeff Grubb said he has heard, and Grubb has been spot on with State of Plays. Anytime Grubb says a State of Play is coming, it happens, okay? Like, hilariously, the last time he said it was going to happen in May, it was like the last day of May, and people kept giving him crap, and I tried to be funny, and he thought I was attacking him, and it got lost in translation. Like, I was like, Friendly Fire Grub, I've always been, a fan. I've always liked you and defended him at the time. I was like, he knows his stuff. So he said yesterday, PlayStation is doing an event in June. He doesn't know if it's the state of play. He doesn't know if it's a showcase. Now, that prompted a prediction from me. I said, I bet it's a state of play. I bet you they do it on Thursday, June the 5th, right before Keighley. That's been their habit, is they go first. They kick off Summer Game Fest, and they typically do that right at the end of May, right at early June or whatever. And then Detective Seeds came behind him and said that he had heard the June event would be the week before. It would be the week before Death Stranding 2, and it would have a runtime of 40 minutes. My gut says Seeds info is off. That doesn't sound right to me. It could be on. Seeds clearly has contacts at PlayStation, but that info doesn't sound right to me. It doesn't make sense that you would sit out of Summer Game Fest and then do a state of play right before Death Stranding 2. I don't get that. Now, I could see them saying, well, we'll let Kojima do something with Jeff Keighley. Kojima likes Jeff, and then they can say, tune in a couple of weeks for the state of play for, a deep dive into gameplay or something. Maybe I could see them doing that. Like, I'm going to say maybe. But I don't know. To me, it makes the most sense for them to kick off Summer Game Fest on Thursday the 5th, because that's what they've done for years. Even when they did their showcase, it was in May or whatever. That's what they do. They like to kick off. They like to kick off their events. Hang on a second. We got Manuel with 21 months and a member plus. 21, baby. Officially allowed to drink a beer. Yes, your sub is now of legal age to purchase alcohol. So we are at 7:04. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Thank you for the $10 pound super chat. Grub was saying he has no idea what Santa Monica's working on. Yeah, the Santa Monica stuff, that he retweeted that and said that's not what he said. He retweeted and said that's not what he said. So that seemed like a big nothing burger to me. I don't know what that was. Like, that seemed like they took something he said kind of in passing and completely misinterpreted it. So thank you, Brett, for 30 months and a member plus, bumping the member count to 705. We are officially a 20 bomb away from the next milestone. Whoever hits it gets it. So right now I owe YouTube and Twitch each 5, which I should probably do that right now. How do I do my Prime subscription in here? I don't know. I think you just hit the thing. You just hit it and say, you just hit the subscribe button, and then there's like a toggle for Prime. Surely at least they announced a showcase at Summer Game Fest. I don't know if they'll announce... Oh, you're saying the Death Stranding 2 state of play. It could go one of two ways. They either do the kickoff event on Thursday before Summer Game Fest starts and they do a state of play. Or they do, like a week before Death Stranding 2, they basically do a Death Stranding 2 state of play. Because again, in my mind, that's what they're typically doing. They're typically kicking off Summer Game Fest. Now, if they want to do this Death Stranding 2 thing, it makes perfectly good sense. It's a big game for them. I think it's a big win for them to have a Kojima exclusive. After all this time, Kojima's kind of... He's aged like a fine wine. Everybody's loved him, but like now I think he's even reaching almost like saint status in the gaming world. People love him. People love his work. Death Stranding 1 has aged very well also. Donald says, I think Seeds is right because they normally do their state of play right around the PlayStation Business Update, which is right before Death Stranding 2 releases in June. But what you're saying is incorrect. That's not what they've done historically, Donald. They historically have done their state of play right at the end of May or right at the beginning of June before Summer Game Fest. I've been covering this time of year for almost a decade. they typically are not doing their state of plays after all the showcase season's over in relation to their business update. Unless their business update is in a different time this year. Historically speaking, that's when they would do it. Right at the end of May, right at the beginning of June, right before Summer Game Fest kicks off. They've done it that way for, I want to say they've done it that way for 5 years in a row. Whether it was a state of play or a showcase, that's when it would land. They've normally done their business update in May. Oh. But that would mean that it was always coming after, Donald, so even what you said still doesn't really seem like it applies. Oh, you said right around. You didn't say before. Okay, in my mind, I was thinking you were saying before. Well, to be fair, Donald, at the very end of May and at the very beginning of June, coming after their business or whatever, the same thing could happen. The same thing could happen if they do it on June the 5th. That's quote-unquote, as you say, right around the business update. What's the exact date for the business update, Donald? Do you know? And then thank you, RT Mayday, for 2 months. Got to restart with the new account. Thank you, RT Mayday, for resubscribing over here on Twitch. Appreciate you so much. I'm going to pay up now what I owe. Gift a subscription. I owe 5 to Twitch and I owe 5 to YouTube. Yes, this is a weapon manufacturer in Borderlands. That is correct. All right, there you go. There's the 5 that I owe to Twitch, and then I'll pay up on YouTube as well. You want to see a new Sony first-party games? Well, there's been plenty of first-party games announced. You want a brand new one that they haven't talked about? I mean, I don't know if you're going to get that. If you want a brand new first-party PlayStation game that they have not announced, I don't think you're going to get that. Because they've got Lost Soul Aside, Death Stranding 2, and Ghosts of Yotei. Those are all coming this year, and PlayStation considers those first-party. Wolverine at least. Right, maybe. I think it's too early for Wolverine to be shown because you also have Saros, you have Intergalactic, you have Phantom Blade Zero. Those are all 3 likely next year. We had disagreement about Intergalactic yesterday. I don't want to have that debate again, so maybe. I mean, maybe not next year, but still, those have all been announced very recently. You believe it's June the 12th. I mean, Donald, if their meeting is on June the 12th, I think my prediction and Seed's prediction are basically equal. Because mine would be the week before, his would be the week after. I mean, that's like, those are almost identical. And historically, it's been after. Thank you so much, Stone Spire, for using your subscription over here on Twitch. Hang on, I got to do my 5 that I owe YouTube before I forget. And guys, make sure you're smashing the like button on YouTube. We are fastly approaching 200 likes, and that's a huge help to what we do here. 2 months of Reforge Gaming goodness. Thank you so much, Stone Spire, for the double dip. You double dippers are the champs. I wish I could give you like an actual double dip emote that like you unlocked, but it's not possible. Yeah, Saros is brand new. Intergalactic is brand new. You know, given their history, I would not expect them to be trotting out a lot of new stuff in this summer. I would not expect that from PlayStation. Given their history and how they handle first party, they've already got a lot of first party announcements out in the ether. They already do. I mean, I don't think you're going to see I don't think you're going to see that. Okay. Donald says, yes, historically their business update has been first, and then the gaming event is after. Well, then that would give credence to what Seeds is saying more than me. And a 10 bomb comes in from MASH, and he gets us to 717. This guy is out in force today. If he gets his tag team partner, Pathalon Phoenix, we're in for an absolute mayhem fest. Currently, the stretch goal is a full song. You guys are going to hear some of my music tonight, along with Streaming with Madam, along with playing a game. You hit 800. I'll let you hear an entire song tonight. Didn't Housemarque say they were going to show Saros gameplay this year? They said they were going to be doing a deeper dive. How exactly did they word it? Saros gameplay later this year. Let's see if we can find it. I feel like they tweeted and said something like that. And a 20 bomb comes in from MASH and does another one and gets us to 737. And I now owe YouTube another 5. Thank you so much, MASH. He's just going to fly us past the 625. What was the phrasing that they used? Here's a tweet from them celebrating 30 years. Let me just go to their Twitter account and see if I can find it. I don't know how often they tweet. It looks like they tweet and retweet quite a bit, actually. And a single comes in from Stone Spire. I know what Stone Spire's doing. Get ready. He's going to set up the 10-bomb dunker. He's going to do 2 more singles. 30 years is wild. Returnal patch. There's another single from Stone Spire. Get your fingers ready. If you're going to try to steal this next milestone, Twitch, this is your opportunity. Uh-oh. Too late. And a 10-bomb comes in from MASH, and we know what that's going to do. That's going to get us to 49, and he just turned Stone Spire into the winner. Stone Spire lands the 1 on 50. I now owe Twitch a 10. Just like that. And a single comes in from Charles Hawk. Thank you. Oh, this is what they said. Extended gameplay. Saros said, our first look at... hang on. Let me get it on screen for you guys. Expect our first look at extended gameplay later this year. Okay, so they said that in April. I have no idea what that means. Yeah, that's an Agent of Chaos. Thank you so much for the Agent of Chaos. Charles Hawk getting us to 751. I got to come over here and do 99. Because that's a 10 and 2 singles. That's 12. Yeah, there you go. Quit sleeping today. Twitch has to choose their shots carefully. They don't have heavy hitters that can do it every day. They've got heavy hitters that can go a little wild like once a week. So, on a new album. Yeah, I've been working on music, yes. All the lyrics are original to me. Wired Rope says, yet. That's right. Jenny comes in with 3 months over here on Twitch. Thank you so much for resubscribing and using your Prime on me. I appreciate that, Jenny. And then Monkus comes in with 5 months on Twitch and says, huzzah! Huzzah indeed. And that gets us to 753. Thank you so much. If June is not a showcase, then I think it'll be, you see Saros gameplay in September. June event will be more of the games coming out this year. My current thought is June is either going to be a PlayStation State of Play right before Keeley's thing, so that would be June 5th, or it'll be the Death Stranding 2 State of Play that Seeds is talking about. Okay? So that's June. I think September is a showcase. I do. Because we heard from Grubb earlier, they were leaning towards doing a showcase. Then we heard from another insider saying they're not doing anything until September. And then we heard that that's an event. They're planning a big event for September. I think that's a showcase. I think that's your mid-gen showcase where, you know, they'll talk about Yote and some other games. And R Squared comes in with the Prime and says, keep up the great content, bro. Currently working through my first Souls-like with Kazan, really loving it. Would love to play. Would like to see you play it on stream at some point. I have a stream of it on my YouTube if you want to see me play it. I tested out the easy mode. And that gets us to 754. And that takes, there you go, 17 on the day for Twitch. Kazan is the first Souls-like is rough. Bosses are savage. I wonder if Kazan as a first Souls-like, though, with the easy mode would make it more approachable because you just stay alive longer. You do more damage, you consume less stamina, you stay alive longer. You know what I mean? It could be good. It could be a first Souls-like. I'm sorry, I misspoke. It could be a good first Souls-like. Guys, don't forget, we did bring back the coffee. A lot of you guys are excited I got my Twitch back. That's not the only thing we got back. We brought back the coffee. ReforgeRoast.com. We have a light, medium, and a dark roast. All of our coffee features low or balanced acidity. Very smooth, no bitterness. People that have like stomach issues and can't drink coffee have said that they can actually drink mine. And Dodevas comes in with a single. I know what you're doing. Dodevas is taking up Stone Spire's mantle, officially setting us up to be 20 away. 20 away from the next milestone. Whoever hits it gets it. This is your chance, Twitch. You can steal it back. I've already paid up for y'all, and I owe 10 right now to YouTube. Expedition 33 is interesting, says Mash. I find the main bosses on the main storyline are fairly well paced strength-wise, but side bosses are either too easy or too hard. And then Narwaffle jumps in with a double dip for 2 months, and Seek comes in with 4 months with their Prime. Thank you guys so much for using your Primes on me. And that takes us to 757, and that gives Twitch a bit of a bump there to 19 on the day. And a VIP renewal comes in from Kyle. That's a long time, Kyle. That is 36 months. Thank you for that insane level of support, dude. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. That is a long time supporting the channel. Man, you guys that have stuck by me on YouTube, man, it really means a lot, and that you continue to after all this time. The harder side bosses are worth it, usually hiding good or great weapons, says Wired Rope. Yeah, you would want them to be worth it. Like if you're going to go off the beaten path and fight some really difficult boss, you know. Grub is constantly wrong about PlayStation. Remember we were getting a showcase in December for the 30th anniversary and nothing? He never said that. What are you talking about? That didn't come from Grub. You're accusing the man of something he never said. He's been spot on. He has been spot on with state of plays. Anytime that he has said there's a state of play coming, it has happened. The 30th anniversary thing, the 30th anniversary showcase, that did not come from Grub. I'm looking at a report right here. I'm going to double check myself. I want to make sure I'm being factual about this. Emu Billy, you finally got a gift. There you go. I'm making sure that I'm factual here. In response to this speculation, Jeff Grubb said he has not heard about any PlayStation showcase or state of play for that month. Right? I just Googled it. No, you're wrong. Right here, rumors regarding a PlayStation event being hosted have started to intensify for the 30th anniversary. Grubb is quoted as saying he has not heard about anything for that month. You are incorrect. He did not do that. He did not say that. You are wrong. When it comes to state of plays and PlayStation events, Grubb has been very reliable. If he says something is coming, a state of play is usually what he predicts. Or not predicts, I'm sorry. A state of play is usually what he's heard about. He gets it right. What was the date of the article? The date of that article is November 25th of 2024. So everybody kept speculating that we were going to get some 30th anniversary thing last year. We had rumors that there was a 30th anniversary showcase coming. It did not come from Grub. I remember covering that. It didn't come from him. I remember being kind of a little dismayed because he kept saying he wasn't hearing anything, and he's usually the guy that hears about the PlayStation events. And when he said he hadn't heard anything, I was like, I remember this discussion specifically. I said, that's not falsifying the claim. Grub never said, oh no, my sources said no way. He just said he hadn't heard anything. And I was like, okay, there's still a chance. But he did not. He is not the one that originated the rumors about the 30th anniversary showcase. Go to the Google bar and ask if Jeff Grubb said we're getting a showcase. I'm not going to do that. Google AI is not reliable. It'll misfire. I just found an article falsifying your claim. So drop it. I don't allow that here. I do not allow people to be falsely accused. You're looking at it. Yeah, it's probably a Google AI summary that is inaccurately summarizing stuff because, yes, over the years, he's predicted showcases and state of plays, and he's gotten it right. That's an AI summary. That I just showed you an article where the man said, I've not heard anything about that. I've not heard anything about a 30th anniversary showcase. And you're in here trying to claim he was the one that started the rumor. Shut the frick up. I'm done with you. You were in here doing this crap the other day, and I'm over it. I don't like people like you. You're done. I ban liars, and so now you're done. You want to lie and have your claim falsified, and then say articles can be false, you're false, and now you're done here. You just earned a trip out. Congrats. I don't let people do false accusations here. Go write a twit longer. No patience for it. No patience for it at all. I'm done with folks like you. Who is that? Nobody now. Who cares? Funny thing is that AI summary would have proved him wrong as well. I'm not going to go buy an AI summary. I've had AI summaries recently tell me that a game is available on Xbox and PlayStation and it's not. I mean it. I've had the AI summary recently completely misfire. There was 2 games recently. I was like, yo, this game looks sick. And I would go, is this game on PlayStation? Is this game on Xbox? And AI would be like, yes, it is. And I'd go to the store and I'd be like, no, it's not. The AI summary is wrong all of the time. It was right in this case. He was telling me that it said that he did, and I was like, no, that's wrong. I remember covering that. Grubb was the one saying that he hadn't heard anything about a 30th anniversary showcase. That rumor did not originate from him. He said he hadn't heard anything about it. A member plus from Sag Omo. Thank you so much for becoming a paying member here. I count those as 2, by the way. So that's going to take us to 60, but then we're going to jump to 61. Oops, 61. Thank you so much, Sagomo. If you guys do an upgrade to Member Plus, or you sign up brand new for Member Plus, I count those as 2. We need as many people as possible to upgrade or sign up for Member Plus. That is a huge need for the YouTube channel. We have a couple thousand people every month that enjoy getting a gifted, and we really need that culture to shift and not be so slanted in that direction. If you can't afford a membership, we're happy to gift. I gift all the time. Everybody here gifts all the time. We just need some of that ownership of like, hey, you like this content every day. That's literally how I do it. I went and checked. The AI summary had Grubb correct. I'm not dealing with people like that anymore. You want to come in and lie, and then when you get checked on your lie, you want to be like, well, but the articles could be false. Man, shut up and take a walk. I'm done with people like you. Go hang out on Twitter where lies don't get checked. I'm just over it. I'm so freaking over it. It's tiring, especially when you're going to lie about another content creator. I don't have any patience for that crap. 762, a gifted comes in from Joker Quinn, and then a 5-bomb comes in from MASH and gets us to 267, and then another gift that comes in from Dylan to 268, and then another 5-bomb comes in from MASH and gets us to 773. So that is going to be 11 on the total there added for YouTube. Twitch, you can steal it. You can steal it for 2. I missed it. What was the person lying about? We were talking about the PlayStation Showcase information that came from Jeff Grubb, and I said he has been consistently correct about PlayStation events. And a guy in chat said he's consistently wrong about PlayStation events. He claimed we were going to get a 30th anniversary showcase, and I said, no, he did not. He did not say that. I remember covering it. It didn't come from him, because if it would have come from him, I would have been very excited. He was the one who said he had not heard anything. And when I showed him an article and I falsified his claim, he said, well, articles can be false. And he was like, go ask Google. Go ask Google. Google says it's true. And I was just like, I just banned him. I just ban liars now. I don't have any interest in it. They totally sideshow the entire discussion when they do it. And Sagomo doesn't just do a member plus, he does a 10 bomb, and he takes us to 783. Thank you so much. 124 on the day from YouTube. It was not a long-time member. He's been coming in saying nonsense for a couple of days, and I let it slide, but I was over it today. I have like the shortest fuse when it comes to lying about content creators. I don't have any patience for it. I don't. I have zero patience for it. I have zero tolerance policy for it. It's toxic, and it's too prevalent. It happens too often. Other content creators, other streamers constantly trying to, slander and lie about each other. Nope, zero tolerance policy for that crap. The Gomo's going hard. I appreciate it. I don't know if they've ever said anything in the chat. I don't know if they've ever said anything. Brand new today, member plus and gifting. I appreciate it. People don't verify, they just assume. I have no problem with somebody coming in and asking. If someone had been like, wait, didn't he say that? And I'd have been like, no. And I would have shown them, no, he did not. And they would have been like, oh, thank you for the information, instead of making the claim. Those two postures are entirely different. Okay, Derek's trying to ask me about the Bungie news. Okay, so if you guys missed it, I don't know how you could have missed this. Bungie got caught stealing artwork for Marathon. And that's like the tip of the dadgum iceberg of what that company's been doing. I thought the way that they handled the situation was unprofessional and misleading. I don't feel like they've told us the truth. I feel like they lied straight to our faces. I don't trust them. I don't think they're a trustworthy company. I think they've proven themselves to be corrupt and untrustworthy. There's a lot of that going around lately. Funny what they all have in common from 2020. Anyways, now, Destin Legary, and mad props to Destin. We've had our disagreements in the past. I don't think all that highly of him, but mad respect for what he's doing. He's speaking to former employees. Now we're finding out that HR was actively covering up. This is what they've been accused of. Allegedly, they've been accused of covering up harassment, which I all told you that was going on in 2021 when we read the IGN Puff piece by Rebecca Valentine. She's the one who wrote the dishonest hit piece about Black Myth Wukong. So her reporting chops are not very good, in my opinion. And what she did for Bungie in 2021, I thought was despicable. I thought it was despicable. To do basically like a puff piece for them and to paint them in a positive light and to make it seem like they were being heroic, I thought was despicable, because that article made it very clear that the aggressors, the offenders, had been protected by non-disparaging agreements and got nice little send-offs and got clapped as they left the company. And they had people at the company that were still afraid to speak out because there was fear of retaliation. And I said when I read that article, I said, this is a bunch of BS. They are trying to make it seem like, Bungie's this virtuous, good company and they're doing the right thing. No. I said back then something fishy was going on. And at the time, I had former employees reach out and say that they appreciated my coverage of that. And they said that it went all the way to the top. They said the toxicity, they said the retaliation culture, they said it went all the way to the top. And I tried to report on it, I tried to expose it at the time. Nobody paid much attention, right? Because they probably just assumed like Lono has a vendetta against Bungie, right? We were also a significantly smaller channel at the time, so we didn't get as much traction as maybe we would today if I went full guns a-blazing at them. So that's what happened, and that's what's come out. I have to open up the Office store. Give me 1 second. My chair moved. They should have thrown more pizza parties, I guess. Sony should just fire all upper management. You know what's interesting about that is I feel like they would have done it already if they could. I feel like they have plenty of grounds to go in and fire people. Phil Spencer with the $2 super chat tip says, with us releasing Hellblade 2 on Sony consoles, best PS5 Pro and PC, what games do you think we would do next to our partner? The super chats and the tips from Phil Spencer, it's hilarious. I actually don't know. I think Ori is next. Because they reached out to Moon Studios and they inquired about whoever's super chatting and tipping Dauntless is memeing. They put their name in as Phil Spencer. They're just being a goof. I think Ori is next. And the reason I think Ori is next is because they reached out to Moon and they said, hey, what about an Ori 3? I think the reason that they did that is because they were sort of going through their catalog and assessing what would be a good game to send to PlayStation. And anytime they're going to send something to PlayStation, they would probably like to have that coincide with the sequel, like what they're doing with the Gears collection and Gears of War E-Day. That marketing can kind of work in tandem and can kind of like, you can kind of benefit from like having both happening. So I think, no, Ori is not on PlayStation. Ori is on Xbox, PC, and the Nintendo Switch. Ori 1 and 2 are on those platforms. Ori is not on PlayStation. Yeah. So that, I theorized that whenever they reached out to Moon Studios, I thought, oh, they're looking at Ori. Yeah. We're close to 55,000 subs. We are. Has anyone commented on the fact that Bungie has been making money marathon? How long have they had trailers up and running and all the different streaming social media platforms? You missed my gifted? Where? What are you talking about? When did you do it? Before Joker Quinn? I thought I added you back then. Did I only do 12 and I should have done 13? Is that the one you're talking about? The one that you did before Joker Quinn and MASH? Or did you do another one and is my screen busted? Let me refresh my screen. Yes. Oh, I missed that one. I'm sorry. They all came in so quickly. Let's do this here. 784 and 125. There. My bad. Before MASH. Yeah, that's my fault. When they hit that fast, it's a different flow for me now. I have to look up there because I have you guys combined chat here. I have Twitch here, and then I have my funding up there for YouTube. It's my head can spin a little bit sometimes. Sorry. Sorry for all the PlayStation people. That's a great game. Yeah, Ori 1 and 2 are great. They're great. I wouldn't be surprised if they're coming over. It wouldn't shock me at all. It wouldn't shock me in the least. Yeah, I think that I think Xbox is actively looking through their catalog to see, like, are there games that, you know, they could do. Would you see an Ori movie? I don't know. I mean, I don't think if it was animated, maybe. I think the beauty of Ori is that it's basically silent with a narrator. Like none of the characters talk. I love that. I don't know if that would work in movie form. I'm a little behind, but how much control do you have over the end product with the AI music tool you're using? Can you adjust melody? No, wizard. It basically, so I've created a persona. So I can go to a song and say, I love the way this song ended up, right? So one of my songs is called You're Fading, and another one's called Cry Wolf. And both of those have great sound. I can create a persona based off of that song. So when I write a new song, I say, use that persona. And what it'll do is, it'll basically say, okay, we want to sound like this. It does not work consistently. It doesn't. Cry Wolf is like got screaming, really clean vocals, and then screaming and heavy parts and clean parts. And it'll sometimes kick out a song that is like just clean local vocals the whole time and a piano. And I'm like, what the frick? So like sometimes the first song it kicks out is amazing. It did that this morning and it did that the other day. Yeah, I'm using Suno. And then other times it takes me probably 20 times to get one that I like. Yeah. And I'm also learning if I feed it certain rhyming patterns, I get closer to what I want from the vocals. If I feed it more free flow, more long sentence structures, it gets confused. It gets really confused sometimes, and it doesn't know what to do. Yo, Tech coming in with 39 months. Thank you so much. Getting us to 785. I don't know what we could do beyond 800. If you guys hit 800, I'm going to let you hear a full song tonight, not just samples. The first song is almost always the best. No, not for me anymore. Maybe I'm being more picky. That probably is it, though. It's probably a both and. Like, I'm being more picky in what I want. Yeah. We use it for an announcement background at our church. All the music you're listening to right now is synthwave that I created with Suno. I just went in and said, make synthwave. I did. And I know people are getting like weird about it. And they're like, oh, AI. And I'm like, well, record companies are annoying. And I'm tired of constantly getting false claims. So they made the bed they're now sleeping in. Sorry, not sorry. The music's been a headache as a content creator for a decade. So if I can go push a button and it spits out perfectly fine and adequate synthwave, and I don't got to worry about anybody coming and claiming it because it's mine and it's just like on my hard drive. It's nowhere else. And then eventually we're going to make it available on YouTube so I can claim like we're the initiator. We uploaded it first. It's ours. I don't ever have to worry about any of that crap in the future. Like the record companies are the reason that I have zero interest in playing ball anymore. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not messing with any of that. Even the DMCA free stuff gets claimed. It's super annoying. Is there a way to listen to your synthwave? We're going to get to that point where we'll have all of the music housed somewhere, yes. I've heard a lot of creators doing this. Yeah, it's just a great way to avoid it. And again, like I said, the record companies made that bed. I feel bad for the artists, but it's like, what do you want me to do? I got to take care of me. I can't be out here like worrying about getting claimed. For the longest time, I said that record companies should think differently about live streaming and content creation and to start to be more collaborative. And they just dug their heels in, remained archaic and outdated. And now it's like, well, AI is here. So good luck getting anybody to ever use your music ever again because nobody wants to deal with it. It's annoying. And it messes with my money. It's like, I'm not going to let you mess with my money. Like, oh, 10 seconds of our song played in a trailer. You can't monetize your video. Man, frick all the way off with that. Seriously. That is stupid. Yeah, so my video's ability to be distributed, seen, and searched for and found and monetized gets damaged because somebody had a trailer and they played 20 seconds of your dumb song. Oh, good riddance is what I say. They've earned that. If it makes them more relevant and the record companies and these labels start to lose money, good, because they've made it miserable for anybody in this field. And it's like, and it's never fair. It's never like, oh, well, somebody uploaded the music again. Well, yeah, sure, go after those people. But like, it's so, the way that it's implemented is terrible. Using AI to generate generic, inoffensive music is about the perfect use for it. Yeah, and the stuff that I'm doing with lyrics is purely a creative exercise. Like, I'm not out here trying to get rich and go on tour with AI music. Like, I understand it's limited and fun, and it's not intended to be anything that's like an income for me. And then the synthwave is literally just a way to avoid a headache. It's like I never have to worry about anybody claiming my stuff, you know? They should do that with video games. Technically, publishers could copyright strike walkthrough, but they don't because it's free publicity. Yeah, and a lot of the companies whitelist the soundtracks. They whitelist the soundtracks because they want people, you know, to be able to play the games. I continue to get strikes, and yet I'm able to take down the copyright strike by explaining to them I didn't do it. Yeah, but the problem with that is if it hits on a brand new upload, it hurts the upload. AI isn't putting a musician out of work. that Lona was going to hire to make his music. This is true. I would have never paid anybody for synthwave. There's too much DMCA free stuff out there to use. Yo, Storm, thank you so much for 42 months. I appreciate it. I would think more and more artists would move away from the big labels anyway and just start doing their own thing, you know? Move away. Move away from the labels. Tech, did I thank you for 39 months over here on Twitch? That's a long time, dude. Thank you, Tech. My dog's name is Ori, and she keeps looking at the TV every time you say that name. Ori, you want to go for a walk? Ori, you want to go for a walk, Ori? Glad you're making the music available down the road. Yeah. That's the plan. It'll take a little bit of time, but yeah, that's the plan. Rotten. You should never give that power to the streamer. Slow down, Satan. So rude. Gotta walk my dog now. Well, see you in a bit. The dog's like, oh, what? That was not right, says Cat. A lot are going independent now, especially since restructuring of Def Jam. Yeah, if they could properly monetize and make money, you know, through Patreon and stuff, I think there's really great ways for artists to make money. I mean, I know it's hard, it's competitive, but anything's better than dealing with the giant labels. Then he will copyright strike someone for his music later? No. I won't do that. Why would I do that? No, I'm going to upload it all. We're going to claim all rights reserved us, but then we're also going to say this music is totally free to use. Just give us credit in the description of your content. That's all I would ask. And I'm not going to go police that. I'm just going to kindly ask as a gesture, if you like my music, I didn't do anything to make it. I hit a button. Just give us credit so people might come and check out the YouTube channel and use it. Will you monetize it? I don't know. I don't know if you should. I don't know how monetizing music works because you don't want ads rolling in the middle of a song. That would be kind of stupid, right? I think you would probably do like the very basic ones, like the bumpers and stuff, and the ones off to the side. I would think that would be the best way to do it because you don't want like people like playing the music and then all of a sudden they get an ad in the middle. Also, the issue with not monetizing is then YouTube won't push the vids. Like, they won't get any traction at all. They could make it a members-only channel or something. And a 5-bomb comes in from Gambit Zero. Another very, very faithful gifter over here on YouTube. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Dude, so happy you're back. Thank you very much, Smug Buffalo. I appreciate that. We've been back over here for about a month. It's basically the same talk show that it's always been. It's just now about the gaming industry instead of one game. You've been following me since 2017. And 53 months of subs. Storm over here double dipping, and helping Twitch round out. Talking about AI, what's the noise with the VO3 I've seen? Oh, is that the video? Yeah, there have been some AI videos I've seen that are insane. I'm like, how the heck? Like, it's moving very quickly. It's moving very, very quickly. We went from, like, terrifying videos of Will Smith eating spaghetti, like nightmare fuel, to, like, going, that real? Like, I mean, it's, what? 2? I found you through StreamStop. Oh my gosh. Was that when I was doing like advice about streaming? I called it Twitch Talk for a while. And then I changed the name of it to StreamStop because I had like my stop sign for like for Say No to Rage and SNTR. And I put StreamStop in it. And it was like all of my advice about streaming. I wanted to make it more agnostic. I miss those videos so good. That was really, really fun. I liked doing that. Hang on. Some of you guys are submitting questions today. We're going to start with Spider Senseless. This is something you guys can do throughout the show if you're a sub or a member. You can use that question command. There is not a designated time anymore for questions. You can just do it whenever. Spider says, will Insomniac show their next game at the showcase or soon since all the leaks? I feel like the whole thing either discouraged the devs a bit or made them want to go Rockstar and say nothing. I don't have a good prediction here other than I think, and this is just a gut feeling, I think the Venom game exists. I think it does. I think they learned from Miles Morales. I think they learned from DLC in Spider-Man 1. That's a better route, and there's no DLC for Spider-Man 2. I think they built a Venom game. I do. I think they use the existing assets. And 3 single gifteds came in from Stone Spire. He is trying to bait the 5-bomb to 800. Whoever hits it gets it. It's your opportunity, Twitch, to get some gifted members, even though you're way behind. If you make this hit 800, I owe you guys the members. So Twitch, you can steal it from YouTube. YouTube currently is owed, I think, 10, and I don't owe Twitch anything. And there it is! Pouring Rain does it, and so does Disciple. They steal it away. That's what I love to see. Take that, YouTube. YouTube was pretty proud. And a 5-bomb comes in from Gambit Zero. A little too slow, Gambit Zero. Twitch takes one this late in the day, and Lone Wolf comes in with another 5-bomb and gets us to 815. And then it's going to be 816 because a single comes in from Joker Quinn. And we're now 9 away from the next milestone of 825. I'll owe you guys some more. Here you go, Twitch. Celebrate. You earned it. You earned it. YouTube's been kicking the snot out of you. And I love to see you guys come in and fight back. That's the best. That's the absolute best. So the total over here on the day between the two platforms, all right, Twitch just jumped by 10. But then this has to jump to 4 from Stone Spire, and then that's going to be from Joker Quinn, and then that's going to be from the 2 5s. There we go, 145 to 30. Lone Wolf says, F you, Twitch. YouTube was feeling pretty cocky. I mean, 145 to 30, they've kind of earned it, but that was excellently done from Pouring Rain and Disciple. They swooped in and took it. You love to see it. Disciple says, we're building. That's right. That's right. You guys are starting to get better at fighting back. I love it. I love to see it. It's hard not to feel a little bit biased. Like, Twitch is my original stomping ground. It's like, come on, boys, fight back. But YouTube over here is like, we have a MASH, and we have a Pathalon Phoenix, and then we have Stone Spire in there, you know, being strategic. What's happening tonight? Okay, so I don't, what in the no comment? Godkiller, what are you saying? What do you mean, what in the no comment? Twitch also gets to cheat. They do. They get to cheat during morning coffee. Okay, so tonight, Madam and I are going to stream. You unlock that. Madam and I are going to do dual perspective linked Banner of the Spark. I'm going to show you some more of my music. You've unlocked a full song. I'm going to let you hear an entire song beginning to end. That was for 800. I don't even know what we would do for 900. What do you want? Is Madam going to play Onimusha? I don't think so. We never talked about Onimusha. We were going to play Linked Banner of the Spark. And a single comes in from Mike onto Mike and gets us a little bit closer to the next milestone. I do owe YouTube a 10, I believe. I'm going to do that now before I forget. I'm going to answer a question as well. Perfect Image says, what studio could be ready to present from PlayStation? Kojima, Sucker Punch, Housemarque with Saros, they all could be ready to show something. If we hit 900, Lono wears a funny hat and plays games. Wears a funny hat? PlayStation Forever says, I quit my crappy job today. I was their best worker, but they treated me like crap, so I'm gone. Bye-bye, General Manager Tommy and Production Manager Dave. Yeah, suck it, Dave and Tommy. Good for you. Good for you, dude. Get the frick out of there if they're not treating you right. Know your worth. Know your worth. Guys on YouTube, really quickly, double check that you've smashed the like button. Try to get us to 300 likes. That helps out. It doesn't cost anything to hit the like button. So make sure it has saved your thumbs up. Stone Spire says, Helldivers PvP tonight, red light, green light, try to kill your opponent with weapon pods. We're going to be playing Helldivers 2 this afternoon. I would much rather just play the content as it's designed. I don't know about PvP tonight. I mean, I guess if you guys want to do that for the next stretch goal maybe or something, I don't know. We were just going to play this afternoon and play serious because I wanted to play the new content and try out all the new stuff. I've not gotten to try it out yet. That's going to be this afternoon. And then College submits a question, says, last I remember is that the Venom narrative was over by the end of Spider-Man 2. Why do you think they're making a Venom game? It has just been a theory. They could have anybody come in and get the symbiote suit. It doesn't have to be the one who wore it. I don't even think you'd want it to be Harry. I think you'd want it to be somebody else. I don't know. It was a PlayStation Showcase coming. I'm hype about that. It's probably going to be a state of play on, I think, either June the 5th, the day before Summer Game Fest starts, or it's going to be the week before Death Stranding 2 and probably focus pretty heavily on Death Stranding 2. I think there is a showcase in September based on everything that we've heard. We've heard from Jeff Grubb. They were considering a showcase. They were leaning towards showcase. We've heard from other sources. They're planning something for September. We've heard from other sources. They're calling it an event. We heard from a source that they weren't going to do anything until September, which sounds like they're really planning a lot for September. So I think September is a showcase. But then we just heard yesterday from Jeff Grubb, PlayStation is doing something in June. I think it's a state of play on the 5th. I think they're going to kick off Summer Game Fest. I don't think they're going to wait and do the Death Stranding thing. I could be wrong. But that's been my prediction. They historically really, really like to kick off Summer Game Fest. They do. Eddie breaks into the lab for a story and gets the Venom. Yeah, I mean, something as easy as Eddie Brock getting it. I mean, it's comic books after all. They can kind of do whatever they want. Yo, Silent Spartan with 20 months of members playing Death Stranding, and I just unlocked zip lines. I'm addicted to delivering packages now. I can't stop. I will get the Death Stranding Platinum. I mean, good luck, brother. Hoo-wee. That's probably not going to be a quick effort, but thank you so much for sticking with me all that time, man. Silent Spartan's a long time, dude. 20 months. 20 months of subs. If it's a normal state of play, absolutely. It's happening on June 5th, says Edward Holes. If it's a Death Stranding 2 state of play, I wouldn't mind that before the week, before Kojima's big day. I could be compelled in either direction. Because we know that Kojima likes Jeff, and so Kojima could have went to PlayStation and said, listen, I really want to do something with Jeff at his kickoff event. And then PlayStation could have said, okay, well, we'll do a state of play later in the month, and we'll feature your game. And then when you do the thing with Jeff, maybe you can promote it and say, hey, we're going to be doing a deep dive of gameplay later in the month, with the PlayStation state of play. I don't know. These are all just guesses. Telling me to work on the 4th of July and that I can't take off was the last straw. A job is replaceable. My marriage isn't. They screwed with my weekends. Ain't screwing with my holidays. Let them know. Let them know, man. That's you got to protect. You got to protect your peace and like you said, you can replace the job. It starts affecting your family life. If you have zero options, for sure. Sometimes people just have to kind of like take it on the chin, because it's paying the bills. But if it turns that sour, get the heck out. The symbiote is locked away. There's no way he's breaking into Osborn's lab. Osborn would have to use it and get defeated by Spider-Man, and the symbiote gets away. Liquid, you're talking about a fictional story. You know what I mean? You're talking about a fictional story. They could come up with any reason they want to have Eddie Brock within proximity of the symbiote. Maybe he comes in to do a story, and they're moving it within the facility. And when they move it within the facility, it breaks out. And Eddie Brock just happens to be there. I mean, come on. Miles or Peter would have to be in the game. It needs to make sense. But that's what I'm saying. They could be doing anything. He could literally be there for a story based on all the crap that happened and all the utter destruction. And the same day he's there, they're moving the symbiote within the facility to a more secure location, and it breaks out. And it gets onto Eddie. I mean, you see what I'm saying? I'm not a writer on a video game. That took me 10 seconds to come up with, and that would work. You don't need to have like a super thoughtful story. Oh, well, I don't know. That seems a little convenient. Yeah, it's a comic book story, man. That's kind of how they go. Like, MacGuffins are around every corner, brother. No one's going to care if it's a $40 Venom game. Well, I don't know about this. This seems a little convenient that Eddie Brock was there at the same time. Everybody's going to be like, I'm Venom. Like, you know, like no one's going to care. No one's going to care. I want GTA 6 now? I mean, I guess. Well, seriously, think about it. It doesn't need to be that thoughtful, homie. You know it doesn't need to be that thoughtful. And a tip just came in from Jeff Keeley, $2. Exclusive for the Reforge broadcast, Summer Game Fest will have multiple Vicellis. Red Dead Redemption 2 has no Vicellis. Peter got bitten by a radioactive spider that somehow broke out of containment. Same with Miles. Yeah, come on! The origin story of Spider-Man is literally happenstance. He just happens to be there on a field trip or whatever reason they come up with. He's doing a story field trip. There's different reasons. There's different story arcs. And it just happens to be when the spider got out. And the spider just happens to fall on his neck and bite him. Like, come on. Come on. Like, the origin story of Spider-Man himself is like, oops. It's literally an oops. It's like, oops-a-daisy, you know? Not according to Madam Webb. We don't speak of the darkness here, Omar. I don't know what you think you're doing, but we don't speak of that here. The flame guy has a symbiota. What? Symbiota? Is that Spanish? La symbiota. What the heck? These Venom posters, they really don't translate well when we take them into other cultures, you know, and it's just got Venom's face, and it's like La Symbiota. People are like, doesn't have quite the same ring to it, you know? Sounds like he's going to be a wrestler. He puts on the well, what are those called? What are those wrestlers called? A luchador. He puts on a luchador mask. I couldn't think of it. Oh. The spider escaped Osborn's lab. I can't see Osborn being careless about the symbiote. Yeah, but you're talking about being careless with something that, again, they commonly in the stories have it getting out. Commonly. Think about it, homie. Every single time that symbiote gets out, it's secure and they're doing their best, but like you're acting like this is a real person in a real facility. They can do whatever they want. They can make up any reason. Maintenance. Maybe somebody working for the company is bad and they're trying to set it free, right? Maybe an ideologue. It works for Osborn, and he's like, no, we're gonna let Venom get free, you know. Maybe somebody desperate who thinks like the symbiote could cure his dying mother of cancer tries to get it out or tries to experiment with it and then it gets free. Like, there's so many things you can do to come up with some random reason that the symbiote gets out. So I don't think it's rigid. I don't think it's a concern. I don't think it's like a bother if they're like, you know, we've come up with a fairly contrived and convenient storyline for the symbiotes to escape and get onto Eddie Brock. I don't think it matters that much. It is a video game about a big guy covered in goo destroying the city. Like, we don't need to worry this deeply about how they decide to tell the story. You know, I don't think it's that serious. Oh, Fuzzy's got a good one here. He says, somebody at Bungie is desperate to create a new symbiote, but instead of creating it themselves, they steal it, and that's how it gets out. Come on. Comic labs only ever hire the most inept workers. This is true. This is true. All those reasons are more believable than someone eating. Oh, stop it, Dan. A guy covered in goo. Yeah, Lono Lude. That's right. The guy covered in goo. Pause. That doesn't sound like a video game. Animal rights activists break into the lab thinking they're going to free the animals. Right. Here I was trying to write a story about an intern letting the symbiote get out because his supervisor went out for a puff break. No, it's Sony and PlayStation. If they don't have a Pulitzer Prize winning story, then it's a fail. That's right. Oh, I was trying to get a neck pop. I couldn't get it. Guys, double check that YouTube is saving your likes. The like count didn't move last time, and it's been kind of weird again. Like, I'll ask and won't move, and I'll ask again, and then it skyrockets. So double check that you actually have liked the video on YouTube. That is super, super helpful. And I'm checking the news feeds here. We've kind of talked about the PlayStation showcase. We've talked about Bungie. Well, yeah, what do you guys think about this with Lies of P? What's your opinion here? Because they're adding difficulty settings, and they're actually adding two difficulty settings below what they're going to be calling, I guess, like normal. And so they're going to be doing basically like an easy and then like a super easy. According to Game Rant, it is laughably easy if you go down to the easiest difficulty. Like, and I'm going to test it, obviously. A good place to test it is going to be that stupid swamp monster. Bro Sexy says it is what it is. Just play the difficulty you want to play. Now they're adding easy mode. I'll now buy it, says Stone Spire. The press will be happy. They'll actually be able to finish a game. This is true. The game director of Firebreak shares details on the upcoming gameplay and balance tweaks following feedback from playtesters. I tried playing it once and I had issues, so I wasn't able to really test it. So I can't go into detail about anything in the game or if like I think it's good or bad because it's under NDA. I was having issues and I was like, well, I'll try again, and then I never got another chance to try. You must beat Swamp Monster on normal. Summon Super Saiyan Ishin Lono. No. Laughably easy for who, says Brimstone. Did Souls players play it or people that are new to video games? They said that the one difficulty was maddeningly difficult and the other one was laughably easy. So they weren't acting like the game was a breeze out of the box. You know? Metal Gear Solid 3. Oh, the intro for Metal Gear Solid 3 is now for the Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Who is this? Souls players did also get to try it. Souls games aren't even hard, they're just annoying, TBH. Poll on easy modes, yes or no? Yeah, we could. Well, I think that the issue with Lies of P is hard to do a poll on because it's a little more nuanced, right? It's a little more nuanced because the game's already out. I think that complicates things. There are people who already beat the game on normal, and you're coming behind them, and you're updating the game to feature modes below normal. Like, I think that's fair to be like somebody who's like, man, that's a little frustrating. You know? I get why somebody might not like that. Yo, Tycho with 2 months of subs on Twitch. Thank you so much. And bumps the line here. I don't even have a stretch goal for you guys anymore. We didn't come up with anything. Helldivers PvP games is probably not a very good one because that's you're going to stack too many things into one evening. We won't have time for it all. I love Souls games, but the controls need to be absolutely dialed in, or they have to be implemented. The FromSoft iframes, or your game is going to feel horrible to play. I feel like the iframes in Lies of P are great. I don't ever feel like I had any major issues. You know, I always felt like it was very responsive. I never felt like the perfect block. I never felt like it acted up or anything. Like if I died, you know, it was never like, oh, dude, come on, the iframes aren't working. It was that's never what it felt like. It always felt like, no, I missed. Or in case of like Swamp Monster and others, you can get really overwhelmed with the area of effect and the dot damage. Did I miss the Bungie exposing? I mean, I can give you the too long didn't read. Destin Legary has been doing interviews with former employees. They have been accused, the HR department has been accused of covering up harassment. That's what they've been accused of. So, nice to see you on Twitch again. It's good to be back. We've been back for about a month now. Leadership needs to step down effective immediately. I don't know if and when PlayStation can do this, but it has been my hope that PlayStation steps in and completely removes leadership and starts, like, they need to gut the leadership, start fresh. I think they could even... I argued in a video this week that what they need to do is... Anybody who doesn't want to work on Destiny 3, we're going to try to find a place for you. We're either going to absorb you into SIE, absorb you into a spin-up project studio like they just did with LFG. Maybe we can send you to another one of our studios, right? Maybe we could send, you know, some Bungie employees to go work at Santa Monica, Bend, you know, Gorilla, wherever. And then I would go out to all your studios and say, is there anybody out there that would like to come and work on Destiny 3? Because there could be people at Guerrilla that would like to work on a shooter again. They might be sick of Horizon. There could be people working on God of War. Ben's studio was just working on a live service game that got canceled. So you could have people there that are like, yeah, I'd like to work on some live service content cycles. And that's what you would do. I think you create a team of people that want to build Destiny 3, and then you build it. And you get in a new engine. And I think what you do is, and this is what I argued, I think PlayStation funds it. Right? PlayStation funds it so that you can stop supporting Destiny 2. I think they have to stop supporting Destiny 2. The only reason they're supporting Destiny 2 is because they're financially dependent and reliant upon the game. Cut that off. You can't do that anymore. They need 4 to 5 years of nothing but development on Destiny 3 with people that want to do it in an engine that's far more agile than Tiger, and I think they could do it. I think they could nail it. I think they could have an amazing game for next gen, and people are like, oh, we can't trust them anymore. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Gut the company, get the leadership out, let people leave if they don't want to work on D3, try to find somewhere for them to work. There's a lot of talent at Bungie. There's a lot of talent at that company. I think that's what, if PlayStation could do that, I think that's like the Goldilocks situation. Like, that's like the best situation that could happen at the company, is that you retain the Bungie name because it's been around for a long time. They're the makers of Halo, after all. You retain the Destiny IP, and then you start making money off Destiny again. Because I think a Destiny 3 in 5 years would go hard. I think it would go really hard. I think people would say, oh, no way, they actually did it. You know, and you go dark. I think you go dark. You let Destiny 2 run on fumes. You let it kind of go off into the sunset. and build the game that they've never been able to build. They've always been behind the 8 ball. They've always been chasing their tail. D1 Vanilla launched in a terrible state, and they spent the entirety of that game's life cycle getting it to a good place. And when it finally got to a good place with Rise of Iron and then Age of Triumph, well, now it was time to go into Destiny 2. Destiny 2 does the same dadgum thing, launches in a terrible state, and they spend the entirety of Destiny 2's life cycle trying to get it into a good place. And just when it gets to its peak, well, now they're like, well, we got to start doing other things. So they spin up incubation projects. They want to move away from Destiny. Why? Because I don't think they wanted to do a Destiny 3. It's too hard on the company. I think the engine makes it too hard. The demand, the bandwidth, the cadence of content that's required, it's too hard on them, and they didn't want to do it anymore. So they spun up all these other projects to get away from it. Well, those projects have either been canceled or absorbed by Sony. And now you got to figure out what you're going to do with Bungie. What are you going to do with them? Marathon is a non-starter. It's dead. It is already cooked and dead. It's already in the grave. It doesn't have one foot in the grave. Its whole body's already there. It's already there. So that's a lost cause. And Destiny 2 is just going to continue to spiral down, especially after what's happened with Marathon. You're giving people active reasons to stop supporting and playing Destiny right now. What else were they exposed for now? Covering up harassment at the company? Is anybody surprised? Is anybody surprised? The list is basically about 50-50 now. Eventually, the list is going to be smaller, right? There are now an equal number of people that went after me in 2020 that have been exposed for being either liars, cheaters and liars, creeps, or people that cover up misconduct. Okay? So like half now. Half. Eventually that list is going to grow, and it's going to be basically like everybody you're going to see that just are either corrupt or not trustworthy or dishonest. It's like we're halfway through the list now. We're halfway through. Eventually you're going to say that it's a bigger list of people and the smaller list of people is over here. Like, that to me is some of the best vindication a person could ask for. It's like, I got my channel back, and while I'm getting my channel back, the list of people being exposed is just growing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to keep saying it. Like, do you still think you trusted the right people in 2020? Do you still think you believe the right people? People that have now been exposed? Why are they all in that same circle? What do they all have in common? What they all have in common is they're clearly people that aren't trustworthy. They're clearly people that will lie. They're clearly people that will cover things up. So we're 5 months into 2025. And we're just getting started. I think we're seeing the tip of the iceberg. We're seeing the tip of the iceberg. I said this back in 2021 when IGN wrote their puff piece. I said, this is like a sliver of what's actually going on at the company. And now it's all coming out. Hang on. Somebody did a tip. a $2 super chat tip from, I'm not saying this name. You get rid of all of the leadership. Those guys are scumbags. Also, they owe me my money. Yeah, I'm not reading that name. Look what they did to my boy. At one level, I completely understand, and I also support Bungie not wanting to continue to do Destiny. I'm in support of that. If they don't want to do Destiny 3, then don't do it. Don't force it. It'll be terrible, okay? But I also think it's too valuable of a franchise just to let it go by the wayside. It's too valuable. The IP is it's one of the longest standing live service games in existence. You can't just be like, yeah, we're done. We're never going to do anything with it ever again. Even Halo, when they wanted to stop making Halo's still around. Now you might be like, yeah, but Halo really has fallen. But now we got Halo Studios, and they're committed to doing a new Halo. What if that's a banger when it comes out? What if it's a multi-plat Unreal Engine banger when it finally comes out? If you wait long enough, they'll eat themselves. I always said these people will eat each other. Hey, Lono, do you still don't want people to bring up in discussions regarding Bungie? I freely talk about Bungie and Destiny and everything that happened. I don't hold back. I am not on a revenge tour. I don't have vengeance in my heart. I'm not going after anybody. I'm not attacking anybody. But I'll sit here and speak the truth plainly. If people have questions, I have not shied away from answering questions. You're not going to find that true of anybody else that was involved, but I have no problem answering people's questions about what happened. I've been an open book about this for 5 years because, unlike others, I don't have anything to hide. Clearly Bungie does. Clearly they do. Infinite didn't meet expectations, but it wasn't terrible. And you can always have a comeback. I think you can always have a comeback with a big IP. I do. I think you can always do it. Look at the games that have turned it around. I mean, Rainbow Six Siege has turned things around. You know, Division 2 was going to EOL, and they had such ongoing support and so many people playing. They kept D2, they kept Division 2 alive. No Man's Sky turned everything around. Like, we're going to pretend that, like, Destiny can never have a comeback. You can never do a D3 and actually have a success again. I think that's ridiculous. With the number of games that have had big time comebacks and redemption arcs, to act like Destiny could never do that, I think is ridiculous. Mike Apex says, Bungie's exactly what they deserve to be. Obviously, the top brass is to blame, but if you're a dev and you find yourself helping Bungie be Bungie, it says a lot about you as a person. The devs should quit if they can. I think that's a lot to ask. With respect, Mike, I think it's a lot to ask, like, 800, 700 some odd people to quit because the leadership is bad. You don't want to know why? They're probably like, it might not be any better where I go next. A lot of these companies have toxic leadership. A lot of these guys have, annoying C-suites. You know what I'm saying? You can't be like, well, I'm going to stop feeding my family because, bad leadership and corruption. I mean, that could be true wherever they go. I'm not justifying anything. I'm simply saying if you're a worker bee and you're paying your bills, it's hard to stand on principle because you might encounter the exact same type of behavior at another company. There'll be a lot of valuable knowledge and experience at Bungie that needs to be salvaged by Sony if possible. Leadership needs stripping and a culture change. That would be the only way you would get people to come work at the company. Like, we haven't even really talked about this. I mentioned this in my video about Destiny 3. There's an even bigger problem than Bungie right now. It's Bungie in the future. Nobody's going to want to come and work at that company right now. Who's going to want to come and work at Bungie? You want to go and work under a company that when you're hearing these types of stories? Are you kidding me? Spug says, this is why I left Bungie and now you're at Digital Extremes now? Wait a minute. I feel like you're familiar for some reason. Your account on Twitch is pretty old. I don't want to work at Bungie? We have met? No, we haven't. You look familiar in the picture. When we met, did you still work there? Did I meet you at like the D2 premiere or something? Your picture is so familiar to me. That's what it was. No way. I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious. I've never gotten to speak. Well, I got to speak to one or two former employees in like DMs. When were you last at the company? I guess would be my question. When were you last at Bungie? I would be very curious. Given everything I've been through with them and Shadowkeep was my last expansion. Okay. So you weren't there when they came for me and took my head off in 2020. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I've been trying to get inside information on that for years. their involvement. I saw it happen. I was really sad to hear it. It was brutal. It was tough. I rebuilt on YouTube, and then happy to have Dan Clancy look into everything and welcome us back to the platform a month ago. Other issues aside, I'm not a fan about how you got banned from Destiny the game, since you obviously wasn't a cheater. Yeah, they never told me what I was banned for. It wasn't even like a normal ban. They did a dev ban on Steam. So when I go to appeal it like the website doesn't even treat me like I've been banned. It's really, really weird. You've grown tremendously and are inspirational in a lot of ways. Well, I mean, I really appreciate that. I really do. I wish I wish more people would look at this with a more open mind and see, who was honest and who wasn't. I think that's I've continued to know and feel that's wishful thinking. But in the culture we live in, that's wishful thinking. Like, people have made up their minds that their headcanon is that I'm horrible. So, yeah, we all know. The people who know. Man. It's been quite a ride. People have always told me, they're like, there's a lot of people in the background. There's people that believe you. And it's like, man, I wish there was a way to, somehow push that into big, headline banners, We're happy to see you back. Well, I appreciate it. Jiminy Christmas! Bug drops a 20 bomb on Twitch. Jeepers. Man, that's going to be, 8. I can't type. I'm flustered. 839. And that's going to take Twitch all the way to 51. That's very generous, man. Thank you. Yeah, the gifteds mean a lot, but knowing that you worked there, knowing that you're in the industry, you saying what you're saying means more, honestly. You feel so powerless in front of something like that, and to have people come out and be like, hey man, like, we believe you, bro. Like, that was one of the ways I got through this, having the community, having YouTube, YouTube had my back. Hey, Stone Spire. Stone Spire, he smells it in the water and he bumps the line by 1. We're 10 members away from the next milestone. Oh, but that did make me 19. We were at 19. No, yeah. I owe Twitch 5. I owe Twitch 5. Thank you so much. We got past another milestone of 825. Every 5 I give 5 back. So thank you so much. Stone Spire is always in there. How do I see both chats? You'd have to open up both chats. I'm using an application that lets me see both. Oh no, Bethesda still made great games. I would try to get a job and be your inside man. Since they're only half an hour away from me. Unfortunately, they don't anymore. I don't think they ask. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't think they make bad games. I just think they need to get away from Creation Engine. I think they need to get away from... I don't know. I feel like Todd Howard's philosophy on game design is very much stuck. It just feels super stuck in the past. You know what I mean? Let's chat in Discord if you're down. Do you know Teasing Teddy? I don't know Teasing Teddy. Is that a content creator? Is that like a YouTuber, Twitch streamer or something? Like I'm Google searching that and I'm gonna get. He worked at IGN a while ago? No, yeah, I'm not familiar with that name. Very curious, have or will you ever do a podcast all about it and people you believe led it, as with everything going on right now? It's like hitting a gold mine. He's a buddy of mine. He worked with Destin. I probably interacted with him then. I interacted with Fran and Destin and all those guys. They were super nice. They were always very nice to me. Even in the wake of everything, Destin wasn't toxic or malicious. I don't know if Fran said or did anything. I don't remember. He was the guy sending you press releases. Oh. Yeah, because when they said they hadn't been working with me for years, that was a total lie. That was not true. They had been working with me all the way up until that day. They had been working with me. They were sending me press releases. They were letting me know when things were going on. They were 100% working with me in a professional capacity. To publicly say they weren't was just completely dishonest. Yeah, I always liked Fran. He was super nice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but to answer your question, visual walkthrough, I think the dilemma is so many people just kind of don't care. Like, you guys really care. You guys would love to see, a redemption tour, and the whole thing blown wide open. And I get that. I wanted that for a long time. I've kind of had to let that go. I just don't think that that's like a possibility anymore. You'd have to get like mega platform person to do an in-depth investigative documentary into it. It had to be respectful for me to even want to be involved. That just sounds like a pipe dream. That sounds like something that would never happen. It also sounds like something like the big guys that cover these sorts of things and they break down these sorts of situations, they do it when it's relevant because, like, it takes a lot of effort on their part to do it, so they have to justify the relevancy, right? They need to be able to make money. Like, nobody's going to spend weeks or months on a project like this because nobody would care. Nobody would watch it. They'd be like, yeah, a guy got canceled and he's still around. Who the frick cares? Like, generally, the audience, the public wouldn't care. Because, like, the Destiny community that doesn't like me, they're never going to change their mind, and I'm not going to try to change their mind. The rest of the public would be like, who? Like, the rest of the public, when they look into it, they're like, oh, that guy got a raw deal. They tend to believe me because they don't have a bias. Like, when unbiased people look into it, because people always accuse me of brainwashing, and I'm like, how am I brainwashing? Like, I tell people who have no idea who I am. There are people who don't know me. They're not fans of me. They've never watched my content. And I'm like, yeah, these are the things you can go watch and you can educate yourself on it. And they always come back and they're like, when there's no bias, they're like, they believe me because there's like a mountain of facts on my side. So like, but you have to understand, there's just no relevancy around it anymore. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Say No to Rage. I got unbanned after 4 years and 9 months. Nobody made a video about it. Nobody talked about it. Not even Jake Lucky didn't even talk about it. I thought for sure I was going to get a DM from Jakey Boy. And he's going to be like, yo, what's going on? You got your channel back? You want to talk about it? Nothing. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. Why? Because in the grand scheme of things, I'm a nobody. Like, I'm not going to move revenue for your video. I'm not going to move ad revenue for you. That's at the time, everybody talked about it because it was this monumental thing. And, everybody's going to jump in. I'm new-ish, but I like to know the truth. And there are YouTube videos explaining everything and defending you. But I always, before here, it was from a person, not a third person. I'm not sure exactly what you're saying. You'd be surprised upper echelon may do it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if upper would be interested in doing it. Like, when he covered the Barrett thing, I was pretty disappointed in how he covered that. I was also disappointed that he didn't reach out to me. I don't know. To be honest, I didn't know. The Twitter account for banned streamers didn't even tweet about it. No, it did. No, it totally did. It had, because I retweeted it. Yeah, I retweeted it. It got a ton of views. People were definitely talking about it on Twitter. But it died out. Within 48 hours, nobody gave a frick, dude. Nobody cared. I think there have been maybe 10 people have come by and been like, they let this guy back on the platform, and then they get banned right away. Like, there's been almost nobody that's even tried to say anything in chat about it. It's just, I don't know, man. It just never, it's one of those things where the unfortunate reality is everything moves quickly and everything is very much reliant upon relevancy. And the minute that a big YouTuber or like the guys that like to do the investigative things, they like to do the videos like the rise and fall. They like to do that on people with tons of notoriety and tons of like a recognizable name, you know? Like if tomorrow someone Lupo size says, I'm quitting, I'm never coming back, there'd be a ton of videos about that. There'd be people would be doing like rise and falls, like what happened to Lupo videos. Why? Because he's enormous. Everybody knows his name. Has the story of State of Rage been deleted? We didn't leave any of that content up. We took all the Destiny content down. We took all that stuff down. It wasn't serving a purpose anymore. Yes, Donkey, he did. It was right before I got unbanned. After I got unbanned, it all stopped. Which, even if something that was alleged was true, which it wasn't, it still wouldn't justify what happened to you. Yes, that's a fair take, Mike. Yeah, the series that I made, yeah, we took it all down. No, I cannot play Destiny 2. I'm still dev banned on Steam. They never even replied to my appeals. They would just close the ticket as soon as it got submitted. Like it would get submitted, and within that day, the ticket would just get closed. I don't think it was a coincidence, Donkey Kong. I don't think it was a coincidence that that happened right before the reinstatement. I don't think it was a coincidence. Because the moderation team said yes, 3 weeks later, that rant is taking place, and then I get told they've changed their mind. And I'm like, huh? And then Clancy's like, he tells me to hold tight. And then the morning that it happens, he emails me and says, hey, did you get the emails? So, a $20 super chat from Strider. I miss the old days of playing Destiny and watching you talk about it, but glad to see you're doing well. Thank you for the super chat on YouTube. I greatly appreciate that. I still call people sleepyhead dum-dums. When would I say that? When like we were like doing raids or something? I think I also would say, what was the other thing I'd say? Lead-footed dum-dums. Like people that just don't move. They just stand there in place. It's like, don't be a lead-footed dum-dum. You gotta move. You gotta move your feet. Listen, it's hard not to be a lead-footed dum-dum in Destiny. It's just such a good casual game to play. You know, you really can just shut your mind off and pop heads. It's fun. But you get into a raid or a dungeon, you can't. You can't be a lead-footed dum-dum. You gotta move around. Oh no, was Pete Parsons banned? Huh? Banned from what? He's the CEO of the company. Donkey Kong, I have no idea. It could have been total coincidence. It's hard to believe it was a coincidence. It's really hard to believe. I stayed button-lipped about it. When I got told, like 2 months ago, when I got told that I would be getting the channel reinstated, Clancy told me they would be reinstating it. 3 weeks later, that rant is happening. Unprovoked, just out of nowhere. I was like, where the frick is this coming from? Like, haven't interacted with that person for 6 years. Like the last time I was around that guy in person was like 6 years ago, and we were totally cool with each other. And then there was the podcast thing where we were supposed to like calm down the language or whatever. So the coincidence of that happening, and then I get told that the moderation team had changed their plans. I was like, what the huh? If you're down, send me a DM through Whispers. I'll link up with you. We should chat. We have much to discuss. We do have much to discuss. My username, Spug, on Discord is just Lono. Can you just send me a friend request there? I don't like using Whispers on this platform. It's weird. I don't even know how to do it, honestly. Like, the last time somebody whispered me was, like, Laney, who was, like, an old school guy who followed me back in the day, and he, like, sent me a message, and I was like, what is this? Absolutely off to work. Have a great day. All right. Sounds good, Spug. Yeah. Put her down. Oh, is it down again? It's been acting up big time. It's been a disaster. Like, It said I had a DM for like an entire day and I couldn't see it. And now today I can't search Twitter. I have no trending topics. That whole side of the website's gone. I didn't know you had to crash out. Ashen, it happened before. Once I got the channel back, somebody inquired about it, and it was like, I don't care. It was like everything, the whole tone changed. The whole tone changed. So I don't know. I don't have any interest in getting in spats and fights with people. I don't. Publicly saying things about me that aren't true, I have an issue with that, right? I do. I would hope that would stop, and I would hope that people would not do that anymore and remove those things. You know, remove those things. Don't be saying, you know, like calling me an abuser. Well, I mean, that's libelous. That's not true. That's false. That's a lie. You can't just go out and say those types of things about people. You can't. So. Ever responded to them in a video? No, I don't do that. No, I would take appropriate action if I felt it was required. Slander is spoken, in print it's libel. Right, yeah. That's, you know, it's libelous to say that about somebody. You can't just do that. You can't just like walk out and be like, "Oh, that guy's a drug dealer. That guy's a murderer." It's like, what? No, you can't do that. You can't just throw labels like that around. It's libelous. Like, especially when you're doing it in an effort to like hurt somebody's brand or name or trustworthiness. We're at an all-time high daily record. No. 147 and 51 down here. The current record for a single day of like subs is in a single day we got 748 new members. That was in December of 2024. Yeah. You have two platforms now to combine. Oh, you meant for the weekly record? What is I don't know if have we ever tracked I don't know. Have we ever tracked a weekly record? Hang on a second. Let me look. Our record for Member Plus and above is 610. Our total record number for like members on YouTube was like 4,153 or something. No, 4,290. Most gifted. No, most new. I don't have a weekly record in here. I think it's over 1,000. Counting Member Plus renewals worked out. You know, it has helped, Kirk, but the Member Plus number, we just can't get it to go up. It just won't. We got to 610, and now it slipped all the way back down to like mid 500s, and it just won't budge. Like YouTube's culture, it just doesn't. I don't know. Where's the meltdown video? No one clipped it. It wasn't a meltdown. It was tweets. I don't get it. Made serious bank, has all these things, still goes to great lengths to try. Well, Donkey Kong, my view is that a lot of the behavior stems from fear. Yeah. It stems from fear. Any news on basement damage? My wife is trying to get mold mitigation to come in. We got everything so dry within like 48 hours. I think we're fine, but we're just going to be safe and have somebody come in and check. Nothing really actually got damaged. Like, we fought and protected the basement quite a bit. Yeah, we got to 600 and then Twitch happened. So, admittedly, a lot of people probably moved their support to Twitch, which is totally fine. But the bulk of the support still comes from YouTube. And that's why I continue to tell people, listen, if you watch, if you listen, if you get it gifted on YouTube, you really need to consider becoming a member plus. It's a cup of coffee a month, and it is absolutely key and pivotal to us doing this full time. What happened to your basement? However long ago that was, the record rainfall happened in Kentucky. The water, what's it called? The water table? The water table in the earth itself got so high, like my entire neighborhood, water was coming up through the foundation of the home. It wasn't coming in from the sides. My basement, impressively enough, is totally waterproofed. Like nothing came in from the sides. It was coming up through the earth itself. Yeah, we got that fixed, Ashen. I now have a policy for flood. Yeah. It was insane. It was like a nightmare. The second day that it happened, the first day that it happened, for about 5 hours, we just put shop vacs like on these cracks over here in our finish side. We just put the shop vacs on the cracks and would just suck the water out as it came in and then dump the shop vacs. We did that for 4 or 5 hours and it went down and it stopped. The next day, my wife and I had to stay up all night and we had to do it. And we had to do like the shop vac thing. And every 30 minutes, I told her, I was like, the only way we're going to survive is if we have to take breaks. So every 30 minutes, we would like come down. I came up with the idea of let's empty the shop vacs into Rubbermaids so we can turn them back on right away. And then we would empty the Rubbermaids. And we were basically carrying 200 pounds of water out of the basement every 30 minutes. Like I crunched the number of the gallons. It was 200 pounds of water every 30 minutes. Like, I was sore, and my hand was messed up for like a week from wringing out the towels. Like, I pinched a nerve in my hand, almost like carpal tunnel. I was messed up for like a week. All my muscles, all my back, my hands, I was jacked up. I was messed up. Yeah. We basically made the decision to stay up all night and defend our basement. I told her, we can win. I know we can win this fight. The rain's going to stop at this time. The water will go down. And we will win. And I was like, if not, if we just empty our basement, that's going to take as much, if not more work than just defending it against the water. Like clearing out my studio and clearing out the library and clearing out my entertainment center and couches. That would have taken more work than just emptying shop vacs every 30 minutes. So, yeah, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. I've been here for 23 years. Yeah. You get ad revenue on Twitch? Yeah, it's fine. I run the ads at the interval they recommend. Twitch subs never see ads. So if you use your Prime on me or you sub or you get it gifted, you will never see an ad. And then there's never pre-rolls on my channel. I just let the ads run, so there's never pre-rolls. You get right into the show. Name is Toasty Bros. Their business is up there selling PCs. Yeah. I've had somebody say that Toasty Bros are here. You're lucky you didn't get subsistence. What's that? Alexander Smith with 31 months of Member Plus says, I can attest, Member Plus is worth it on YouTube for Creature in the Green Room alone. Yeah, eventually you guys on Twitch are not going to be able to watch the Green Room unless you have a subscription. Once we're partnered, we will be doing subscriber-only content. Yeah. It's time to work out. Oh, I know for a fact I'm out of shape, but like, even if I was in better shape, it's hard to condition yourself for that. Like every 30 minutes, lugging water out of your house. Been raining a lot here in Tennessee. No water damage, thankfully, but I'm tired of cutting the grass. Oh, yeah. It makes the grass grow real fast. I'd be on the phone with FEMA. We were not categorized We couldn't apply. You wouldn't be able to carry that much water out if you were in shape. You're a machine. Well, what we would do is we would get the Rubbermaids low enough, and then we would both carry out the Rubbermaid together. I mean, it was insane. I mean, it really was. By the end of the night, like, I could barely lift my legs. Like, I would literally go up the stairs, and, like, my brain is, like, shouting at my leg, like, lift, lift. Because your body's just like, I got nothing left, bro. I got nothing left in the tank. Insane. Subsistence is the gradual sinking of land. Oh. Yeah, I mean, it probably damaged the foundation at some level, I would think. Thank you, Wired Rope, for gifting a sub to Ink Sanity. Gets us to 842 on the week. It probably damaged the foundation for sure, because if the ground was that wet underneath, it probably did more settling, which is bad for the foundation. Yeah. That's called survival when you don't want to pay for repairs. Ever since that day, Lono never skipped leg day. That's right. Well, the crazy thing is we thought we had, I thought I had flood insurance because we have homeowners insurance, and that's like, you know, fire and flood are like the two big things that you pay for. And we didn't, because whoever set up the policy made a mistake. She was like, I've never seen a policy set up like this. I was like, okay, it's a good thing we fought and protected our basement then, because we would have been screwed. Lono's on the cycle right now while talking to us. Yeah, I'm on a bicycle. Flood's never included? No, that's not true. No. She said every time they set up a policy, it comes with flood. She said it was unusual that it didn't have flood. Now, maybe parts of the country, you have to specifically ask for it and pay extra, but not here. Yeah. I mean, the problem is when we got the policy, we were at a time crunch to get the loan from the bank for the house. So, like, I got the policy, I just forwarded it to the bank. I didn't even look at it because I just trusted my agent to take care of me. I was like, okay, cool. And I just forwarded it to the bank. Well, a Friday night goal would be Lono playing a Souls-like while on the treadmill. We do not like doing, I know you're kidding around. We don't like doing incentives like that. Like right now for 900, I truly don't even know what we would do. I truly don't know. I'm like, I don't know what we would do as an incentive. You know, you've unlocked so many. It's like, there's only so much I can do on a Friday night, and making me go back into a Souls game or like Lies of P or something is just, it ends up not being very entertaining because I just get salty. It certainly would be funny to watch me try to play on like a bike or something, because I do have an exercise bike. Have your wife do your makeup? No. 900 sub goal. Lono lugs water. Salty on a treadmill would be great, or on the bike. I'm like, come on, man, bull. I disagree. Like, I'm like out of breath. Like, the man known for being verbose and complainy in games, like trying to complain while on a bike, would be pretty funny. Maybe not a Souls-like game, but maybe a game where you have to focus, so we get to watch you struggle. Yeah, getting the bike in here would be a pain in the rear. I think it's got wheels on the back. It wouldn't be too hard. I'd need it to be I don't know. There's just not a lot of space in here. That would be a big commitment to do that. That would have to be like a big celebration stream, like the Member Plus thing, because, you know, like with the PC, building a PC on stream for, you know, for you guys. Yeah, like that's like the 1K. Yeah. I'm gonna drag the dadgum exercise bike in here. People be shouting, get the lead out of your foot, dum-dums. That's right. I am going to have to take a really, really quick break. We are going to switch gears here in a little bit. We are going to be playing some Helldivers 2 together, but not just yet. We can keep talking. We can keep vibing. You know, and again, you guys, we were talking about some stuff a little bit ago. If you guys have questions, I have never shied away from answering those questions. We obviously are not making the content about that. I'm not out here trying to continue to retread it, but I'm also not going to expect people who are like, you got your channel back? Like, what the frick happened? Like, you know, I think it's fair. I think it's totally fair for people to like, if you're going to support me, watch me, give me a sub or gift subs or whatever, I think it's fair to if you have questions for me to answer those questions. So you can use the question command. You can do that while I'm gone. I'm going to step away just briefly and run ads on both platforms. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, we'll be right back. Okay. 800 member plus doesn't have a set goal yet. I'd be okay with that, but I mean, we got to get back to 600, bro. You know what I mean? 900 sub goal, show off the drum skills. Oh, PSVR 2 don't blink. That would be pretty fun as a sub goal. But you guys have to remember, like, the 600 sub goal was like the IRL reverse seer stream in the backyard. No, this is Doll. This is from Borderlands. It's one of the manufacturers. I mean, I'd be happy to do the Don't Blick game instead of playing Linked Banner of the Spark. You guys would probably get more entertainment out of me playing a VR drum game than watching Madam and I play Linked Banner of the Spark. Like, there's not a lot of entertainment value necessarily in just like watching us play a co-op game. Yo, good to see you, Darkoth. 29 months. I hope you're well, dude. I used to work with that guy. Thank you very much, sir. I pay money for you to not reverse sear a steak. Why? Thank you for 5 months of subs. A Disney lived. A Disney. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to pronounce that. A Disney. It sounds like I'm saying a Disney. Like I'm sneezing while trying to say Disney. Thank you so much. It's such a fad and unnecessary. I've never heard that before. Why do you think reverse searing is a fad and unnecessary? Like, I rack the steak overnight, heavily kosher salted, that tenderizes it, seasons it. I cook it to perfection. I sear it on a cast iron. It's wonderful. I know that I get a better result because I've prepared the steak a number of ways. You guys want the VR drum game? I feel like that would be more. I mean it. I mean, that would be funnier than Linked Banner of the Spark. Linked Banner of the Spark is fun, but there's not really a whole lot of entertainment value in watching Madam and I play that. What's next stream going to be about? When we switch gears here in a little bit, we'll be playing Helldivers 2 together as a community. I've never said it's not good. It's overhyped. I mean, I'm not in circles where I see people like overhyping reverse sear. My wife and I watched a video of Alton Brown do it, and I was like, oh, that seems cool. Let's try that. And I love it, and that's just how I do it now. I get the ribeye from Butcher. I'd like to try it with the steaks from Costco because I'm wondering, would I be able to get some steaks from there, have them butterfly cut them? They're too thick. They're like as thick as birthday cake. It's like, good golly. And then freeze them and see if I couldn't get similar results. Because I love going to the butcher, but it's just so stinking expensive. I basically get a steak like twice a year now. Sirloin steak is the best. Yeah, that did not. What do we have to reach for karaoke night? Wait, scratch that thought. Maybe I just hear more because of the circles I'm in, but I'm just overhearing about it. Yeah, I don't run in circles of people that are like debating those types of things. It's just the method that I've used for a really long time, and I like it. I enjoy it. How good are Souls games? Literally never played. Should I even attempt? I think if you're wanting to get your feet wet in a Souls game, you could do like Jedi Fallen Order would kind of get you accustomed to the idea that like everything is a pretty severe threat and you got to be good at like parries and blocks and stuff. If that doesn't appeal to you at all, that game, then you don't have an inroad. You need an inroad. Like if you can enjoy Jedi Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor and like turn the difficulty up maybe after you beat it, then you could try like Dark Souls 3. I think Sekiro is the best, but Sekiro is pretty stinking hard. People like Bloodborne. You have to be okay with 30 FPS if you're going to play Bloodborne. First Berserker Kazan has an easy mode if you wanted to kind of ease in with that one. It's not easy. It's still hard. You just have better survivability. Lies of P is getting an easy mode soon. Sorry, I got a DM. Space Marine also has a parry system. Yeah, the Space Marine wouldn't be like a Souls game, though. I don't know if that'd be the best way to get in it. Sekiro's not a Souls-like, though. I mean, it's a FromSoft game. Sorry. I know technically it's not a Souls game, but I think when people think about Souls-like games, Sekiro's on the table. I mean, it's on the table. You know. Like First Berserker Kazan's not exactly like a Souls-like game. You know what I mean? Jedi Fallen Order isn't either. Like, those games are kind of all in the hemisphere of game types. Golly. Lords of the Fallen, new update's amazing. I've heard good things about it. I don't have any interest. Give me a second. I'm going to keep sneezing. Oh, sorry, y'all. I don't know where it's coming. Like allergies, I guess. I don't feel like my allergies are acting up, but golly, I could not stop sneezing. What was his goal at 900? I think we agreed that we would switch, and instead of me playing the co-op game with Madam, I would play the VR drum game, is what people were saying. I think you can just sit for that. I don't think I have to do the whole, like, green screen thing. The mold heard you talking earlier. Yeah, maybe. Golly. If you guys want a better incentive than the drumming game, I mean, I'm all ears. We can brainstorm and come up with something that you think might be better, more entertaining, funnier, you know, what have you. Off topic, what are your thoughts on Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? They sent me a collector's edition and review access, and I really, really liked it. I gave it a very good first impressions video. There were people that clipped me out of context and lied and said that, like, I was critical of the game and didn't like it. That's not true at all. They really went to great lengths to misrepresent my coverage. I guess they were angry and jealous that I got access or something. I don't know. I really liked it. I was really impressed by it. I'm not a fan of the saving method. I'm not. MASH. And a 50 bomb from MASH says, well, we're going to watch this idiot drum, I guess, and gets us all the way to 894. You are a maniac, Mash. Athlon Phoenix is probably glad to have you back. He can take the day off. Jiminy Christmas. Look, 2 servers are completely down. That's not surprising. Oh, and Cardoc Ren's going to join the fun, and so is Alex. A 5 from Cardoc, a 5 from Alex. Yeah, I'm giving it to Twitch. Because Joker Quinn and Stonespire, you guys did singles. I'm giving it to Twitch. They got it. They're taking us to 904. And then it looks like you guys over here also did Cardoc did a single. That's 905, and then we're going to be 907 because I don't even know what we would freaking do. You guys are breaking my overlay. That's too many numbers. And then I got 2 singles that came in from Stonespire and Joker Quinn to take us to 909. So this right here needs to go up to 65. And then this over here needs to go up to exactly 200. There you go. So I owe 10 to YouTube and 5 to Twitch. Because YouTube secured 2 with Mash's 50. They secured the 50 and the 75. And then, yeah, so I owe 10 to YouTube and I owe 5 to Twitch. So I'm going to do Twitch's now. I can gift and participate in the hype train, I think. But I really, really liked Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I was really enjoying it. I thought it was very well done. I thought the voice acting, the dialogue options, the depth, all of it was excellent. I just didn't like the saving system. I was like, I don't have the ability to do that. I'm too busy. I can't, like, play for 2 hours and risk, Reforge Gaming has gifted 0 subs in this channel. I don't know why it says that. I'm not getting credit. Like, it says, Reforge Gaming gifted 5 subs. They've gifted 0 subs to the channel. Huh? That's weird. And 19 months from Keenan says, YouTube is unstoppable, W-Mash, W-Pathalon. Thank you very much, Keenan. Here, let me do the 10. We're going to be going to like a members-only community thing in a little bit here. Another one just came in. Narwaffle gifts 1 to the Melon Balla. Okay, so I owe YouTube 10. All right, and then Twitch just went up to 66, and the total is going to find itself at 910. I don't even know. I don't have a goal for 1,000, boys. I mean, there's no reason to keep going at this point. Candy burning? The candy burning was a Member Plus initiative. I said because we got to 600 Member Plus and above, I said if we got to 700 Member Plus and above, I would do the candy burning thing in the backyard with you guys as like a joke. Reforge Gaming guy sounds like a cheapskate. I know. He's gifted 0 subs to the channel. Who is this idiot? Yeah, I don't even know what we would add at this point. Like, I have no idea what we would add as an incentive. We are once again completely I'm out of ideas. Camille really wants the candy burning. I do. I live for the meme, says Camille. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has a system in place to make the save issue a non-factor. When you quit, it autosaves. Yeah, but I don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Like, every time I'm about to venture out on a thing. Like, okay, let's just go through a content loop, right? Let's go through a content. You want to listen to 2 songs? My only request, if or when any Halo game comes to PS5, you play it on stream. I will do that, Mash. There's no doubt in my mind about that one. There's no doubt in my mind about that one. Splitgate 2 beta servers are completely down 24 hours after launch. They probably just don't have enough. 1,000 members and you have to play Quantum Error. That's good. That's good. But Corey, let's just go through a content rhythm here, okay? I'm going to go out into the forest, and I know it's risky. Well, I can drink the schnapps, sleep, or whatever, and get a save. Okay, cool. Go out, make it a good distance. Maybe I fight some people. Maybe I fight some wolves, and I'm like, okay, I've done pretty good. I want to save it. That fight went well, okay? Now I either use one of my things, or I back all the way out, and then go all the way back in. Right? It's just a flat tire that I don't want to be there. You can get more than 50 save potions in the prologue. Right. I don't want to do it. I don't. Like, it's a function, it's not a feature. That's my argument. It's just a function. Being able to save a game is a function. It's one of the most downloaded mods for the game. I'm in good company. I'm in good company. Because the people that love the game and play it on PC are like, I don't want to mess with this. Just let me save the dadgum thing, and then I'll move on to the next thing. Like, having to get materials and get this, and then save it, and then, but it may, or try sleeping, or try to get a bed. The game is perfectly adequate at establishing you are poor and have nothing and have to work your way up in the world. It doesn't need to add into that, well, hopefully you saved it because you just lost 45 minutes of progress. Like, when that happened to me, it was demoralizing. It was demoralizing. I had talked to everybody in town. I was getting immersed. I was getting into the headspace of the game. I was learning where stuff was. I was learning where side quest content was. I went out. I got killed by some wolves. I laughed. And then I realized that I had lost an hour's worth of progress. And I would have to go back and talk to every single person in town. That is not, I'm sorry, that's bad game design. It just is. It's bad game design. That doesn't serve a purpose. It doesn't enhance anything. It doesn't. And what they should have said is, you're leaving town. You might want to save it, because if you die, it could even popped up and like, you've not saved in a while. Like, you know what I mean? They have extensive tutorials. This is what killed me about my review of that, and the idiots on Twitter that clip me out of context, because Defense Force people are everywhere for every game. They would get into my comments and they'd be like, you just want your handheld. Okay, let's just press pause for one moment. All right? Every single mechanic in that game is explained painfully in depth. Like, they super duper hold your hand in that game. They're like, here's how dialogue works. Here's how this works. Here's how that works. Here's how that, people are like, you just wanting to hold your hand. The game literally does hold your hand for the first hour. It's constantly telling you how everything works in the game, down to making potions. So I don't know why, whenever you first go to venture out, they didn't have a pop-up that said, here's how saving works. You know? I don't know. It bummed me out because I was vibing with the game, lost a ton of progress. It really soured my experience. And then it just became like this thing. It became this thing that my mind fixated on. It's a form of paralysis for me. It just becomes a form of paralysis. I disagree with bad game design. I think save states change the difficulty curve of the game. Lack of saves makes the game more difficult, which is something that some gamers want. Yeah, and you could opt for that version. Why not just make that something that you opt into? I think that's got to be one of the most artificial difficulty things you can do. Yeah, you don't get to save it. What? You know? Just make that a hardcore run if you want to play that way. You know? That's like, one life. Insta-death. Permadeath, right? That's like permadeath challenges that people like to do. They're great. Cool. Saving my game shouldn't be content. Yeah, that's the camp that I'm in. I'm like, this is just a function of the game. I don't. It doesn't. My brain, it just goes boom. It just skips right off my brain. I'm like, that's stupid, and I'm never gonna change my opinion on it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I really come around to the fact that game creates a flat tire currency sink and a pain point of just wanting to save the game so that I don't lose progress. Like, I want you to think about what the pain point is. The pain point is not, I don't have enough money to buy good gear, so I've got to be very choosy if I get into combat or not. I don't have enough money to buy healing, so I have to be very careful if I'm going to engage in combat or if I'm going to sneak or whatever. Those are elements of pain within the game and surviving. This pain point is, you just lost progress. What? So I've got to go back in time because I didn't save it? What? Like, that's not a pain point within the world of the game. And then there's the effing belladonna. Yeah, then there's the flower that you're supposed to be able to find to make the save potion, and it's nowhere. It's so arbitrary. It's like, it'd be a shame if we created a pain point that made you want to create a currency rhythm of sync of time so that you had, these potions to save in. And it'd be even more of a pain if we, as the developers, made one of those pieces of currency virtually non-existent in the game. Okay. Is it that too different from bonfires in a Souls game? You can't save if you don't reach a bonfire. I'm thinking, hang on. Yeah, no, I think the difference is those are rhythmically placed and sensibly placed. Not only that, they also started adding checkpoints at bosses in Elden Ring because they wanted to remove that pain point because it's not a good pain point. Oh, you died at the boss? Better hoof it through 100 yards of enemies to get back to the boss. No, even FromSoft admitted that's stupid. Like, no, just let them go back into the boss fight. Like, that's not a healthy dose of pain. You're in a boss fight, you failed. Instead of being able to jump right back into the boss fight and apply what you've learned, you got to go through the rigmarole of running past 100 enemies. That's why when I played my first FromSoft game, Dark Souls 3, I couldn't believe how many times the FromSoft boys were like, just run, just run, just run, just run, just run. Why? Because that's quite literally what you have to do to get around that pain point. Tell me it's a good pain point when that's what most of the dadgum community does anyway. They just run past the enemies. That's not a good pain point. It creates degenerate play styles of like, well, I'm supposed to fight my way back to the boss, but I don't really have to. I'm just going to run past everything, completely nullifying the reason to even make it a pain point. So, Elden Ring is the evolution of all those ideas about like, we're going to have bonfires rhythmically placed so that the game, the player is empowered to not lose significant amounts of progress, because that's not what it's about. A video game should not be about, oops-a-daisy, you forgot to save, you have to do everything over again that you just did in the last 52 minutes. I don't want to play that, bro. I've got 2 hours to play, and if you take one of those hours away from me, I am done. I'm checking out. Why? Because I can't get my time back. That's a currency that you can't put value on. You can't put any value on it. There's a whole bunch of belladonna in the prologue. The first town after the prologue. No, there's not. No, there's not. I searched all those areas, bro. And everybody that commented on my thing said that's always been an issue with these games, is that you can't find belladonna. There's a skill that doubles potions. Yes, you see, this is my issue with it, Corey. They've established an external mechanical pain point. Saving the game is external. It's not part of the game. You can try to make it part of the game with potions and beds. It's not part of the game. Saving is a mechanic of just a basic game design. And they've made a pain point, and they're like, oh, but don't worry. You can spend long periods of time looking for flowers. You can get a skill that doubles your potions, and then you can have plenty of the potions. I don't want to do any of that. Why do I want to do that? Why am I babysitting a mechanic? Why am I doing that? Well, I want to play your game. I want to talk to townspeople. I want to work on side quests. I want to find loot. I want to get into fights. I want to go explore. What am I? That would be like saying, you can't put a shirt on until you learn how to knit. And you got to spend the next 10 hours in the game doing this like micro grind of learning how to knit. You know what I'd say? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm either going to run around naked or not play your game. No, thank you. Like, and the crafting of the potions is cool. It's a cool little mini game. I liked it. When they said you get the material for the potion tutorial, right past that area is a whole patch of belladonna. No, there's not. They might have patched the game, Corey. I played the game before it came out, and that first area where they teach you how to make the potions, I went and I looked, and I looked, and I looked. Not a single belladonna anywhere. I'm telling you, I checked everywhere, every nook and cranny, every corner, everything. They might have patched it because they got a ton of, I bet you they got a ton of complaints. People were like, this is dumb. You just taught me how to do potions. You just taught me how to do a save potion. And the one ingredient is nowhere to be found. It's idiotic. It doesn't make any sense. I've never played a game that's done that before. I've never played a game that's like, here's this new thing you can do. Here's the recipe. And then you can't find the things for the recipe. It's a simulation RPG. I can concede it's not for everyone, but it should have some simulation elements to it. It has plenty of simulation elements to it. Bandages, bleeding, healing, eating, sleeping, survival, weight, sharpening your weapons, repairing stuff. There is a mountain of things in that game that firmly establish that. Making me spend time, energy, currency to save the game, that's not it. It's not it. It's such a stupid sticking point to be stubborn about. Not you, Corey, the devs. It's such a stupid sticking point to be stubborn about. It does not enhance the game at all. Why? Because of everything you just said, Corey. All the Defense Force guys actually support my argument, and they don't realize it. Well, you just have to do and then it's not a problem. Then what's the freaking point of it then? If everybody's going to download the mod on PC to save anytime they want, and people are going to be forced quitting the game on console to save anytime that they want, or they spend a disordinate amount of time in the prologue making a ton of potions so they can save anytime that they want, what is the point of the mechanic? Just let me save any time that I want. Even arguing in favor of it, people end up arguing against it. It's like you don't even hear what you're saying. You're invalidating the entire mechanic. Every time I've ever seen anybody type a comment about this, or Reddit post, a tweet, or they got on my YouTube videos about this, they invalidated the mechanic and they didn't even realize it. Well, all you got to do, and then it's not a problem. Then why in the blue frick is it in the game to begin with? If the core audience that loves that game ends up eating around the fat of it by just going crazy and making a ton of potions, it's stupid. It's just a dumb little hurdle micro grind for no reason. Oh, well, our game is realistic. No, that's idiotic. It's not realistic to be able to save a game. That's not realistic at all. What do the potions do? You save the game. You can find a bed and pay to sleep in the bed to save it, but that means you got to like go to a town. I think you can end up getting your own bed, but you always have to get back to the bed to save it. You have to like sleep. If you're like out in the middle of the woods and you're injured and limping and you're worried about getting back to town, you would drink the save potion, save it right then and there, and if on your journey back to town you die, you would be right back where you saved it. It's like a classic PC game where you go menu, save, and you're constantly saving so that you don't lose your progress. Well, they make you consume a potion to save it. And every single time I've gotten into a conversation with somebody about this game who they will defend it to the death, they always say the same thing. Oh, well, you just have to do these 18 things and then you'll have so many potions it won't matter. And I'm like, what is the point of the mechanic then? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's like you're literally arguing that I can invalidate the mechanic. What? It doesn't seem like a very good mechanic then. I'm telling you, I would have dove right back into that game if they were like, we've heard your feedback. We think this mechanic is archaic and unnecessary. You can now save it any time that you want. You can opt for the traditional Kingdom Come Deliverance experience if you want. You can put it on, classic mode or, free save mode. You could pick between the two, and the diehards could pick the classic save, the classic mode, and they could make 85 potions, and they could set out into the open and never have to worry about it. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to play the video game, not babysit a mechanic. I wanted to play. I want to be like, oh, wow, all those people that I talked to, all those things I learned about the surrounding area, all those quests I was going to go do, I now have to go do that all over again. The same conversations, the same dialogue choices. Oh my gosh, dude. Frickin' Groundhog's Day. I was like, it was devastating. I was like, man. Because to me, 45 minutes is a lifetime. It's like I get like 2 hours a night to play. So 45 minutes, I mean, that is a blow. That hurts. Sorry, I got an email. First time I dealt with sleep as a save mechanic was in Dragon's Dogma 2. And listen, if people, want to make fun of me and be like, yeah, you're just a tourist, games are too hard, blah. Like, taking pride in playing games that are hard is weird. Like, I'm not that insecure. I don't take any personal value out of how I play video games. Right? I don't care. I don't. Like, I beat Elden Ring, I beat Sekiro. I've been there, done that. I played hard games. I'm not interested in playing games that are going to make me drag my face across sandpaper. It's like games are supposed to be fun. Like I'm not here for a part-time job or for drudgery. I'm not interested in that. It's stupid. Like to think that like every time I play a game I have to play it at the hardest difficulty or deal with the hardest things. It's like, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. I beat Dark Souls 3, I beat Elden Ring, I beat Sekiro. That's just not, those are typically not my cup of tea games. They're just not. They're not. I had no problem being like, if I'm going to play First Berserker Kazan, I'll drop it to easy so I can get through the game faster. I don't care. The game is there for me. I'm not there for the game. I don't serve the game. The game is there to serve me. It's there to serve my enjoyment. That would be like being like, well, you can't really watch this show without pausing it every 20 minutes to watch a deep dive documentary on YouTube so you can truly understand what's going on in every scene. And if you don't do that, you're a casual. It's like, well, I'm not there to do that. I'm there to be entertained by the show. I'm you know what I'm saying? Like, the show is there for me. The game is there for me. I am not here to serve the game. There's such a thing as false difficulty, and this sounds exactly like that. It's just a headache. It doesn't actually enhance the experience. I've never had a single fan of the game say, well, it makes it good because they always come up with, well, all you have to do is A, B, C, D, and then it's not a problem anymore. And I'm like, so you're basically saying it's a stupid mechanic and you do your darndest to invalidate it because you don't want to deal with it either. They passively admit that they don't want to deal with it either. They either download the free save mod on PC, or they have a solution that completely removes the pain point. And I'm like, so what you're telling me is it doesn't enhance the experience at all. It's just a nuisance, and you do your darndest to avoid it. Thank you for agreeing with me. Thanks for confirming my point. I'm not going to defend it, but I'm also a god gamer, and I never die, so I don't mind. That was good. That was good. You got me. You had me in the first half. You had me in the first half. That was good. Nitro says, the older I get, which now I have a family, I don't have much time to spend on games all the time. So now I enjoy a lot more of the easier normal modes to enjoy the story, and it makes me happy. I am with you there, bro. I am casual dad gamer now. I am. I can't play for 7 hours and accept all the rough edges and rough spots. Like, I don't have time for that. I got 2 hours. I got to get to a checkpoint, and I got to feel progress, and I got to feel good at the end of this 2 hours. If I don't, then the game has failed to give me what I want, and I'm out. That's why I lowered the difficulty in Death Stranding, and I just enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the world. I enjoyed the content loop. It was a wonderful experience, 40-something hours, and I was happy. At the end of the 2 hours, if I have not had that experience, I might come back once. I might give it a second go. But if I get to the end of a couple of play sessions and I'm not having a good time, well, then the game's failing to give me what I want out of it, and I'm gonna go play something else. The game is there for me. I'm not there for the game. I can't do easy. I always play normal. It's the way the devs intend. I don't agree with that. If the game has easy, normal, and hard, how do you know what they intend? Sometimes with Halo in particular, they argued that increasing the difficulty was the intended way because the enemies would go through all of their attack patterns. They wouldn't die so fast. I don't know if normal... I think generally you're probably right, FCAT, that generally normal is the intended difficulty, and that's fine. But sometimes I'm not there for the intended difficulty. I'm just there to enjoy the story and experience the world and the graphics and everything else. Like when I got to like 35 hours in Assassin's Creed, I lowered the difficulty. I was like, I'm just trying to finish. The world's beautiful, the story's dope, but I'm just trying to get to the end of this thing, man. So 35 hours in, I enjoyed my time, but it was time to move forward. And even then, I got to 46 hours and I still wasn't done. And I just had to put it down. RoboCop Rogue City captures the vision of the first movie really well. It's supposed to be over the top. It's supposed to be satire. Yeah, I've heard people say that if you're fans of RoboCop, they really, really enjoy the game. I think the unlimited save mod's popularity proves the point that it's a dumb mechanic and people hate it. Oh, yeah. It's the first mod people make. It's the first mod that gets made, and then it's the most popular. Yeah. I'm in good company. And I'm not going to die on the hill. It's fine. I have so many games to play. I probably never would have been able to roll credits on Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I wouldn't have had the time. That's another beefy game that I 100% would have run out of time with. I'm fairly confident I wouldn't have been able to do it. It's one of the most popular mods on PC. And for good reason. It removes something that is tedious and unfun. It doesn't enhance the experience. It doesn't enhance the experience at all. If it did, then people would not be so quick to get rid of it. They'd be like, what are you doing, man? That's one of the best parts. Hey, you know what I mean? That's the best part of the game is grinding potions so that you can save it. Hey, get the frick out of here, man. It's so dumb, dude. The point is to learn so you don't die 1,000 times. He doesn't want to die 1,000 times? What are you guys talking about? He doesn't have time to learn? If you're talking about me, I don't mind learning. Like when I was playing Blades of Fire the other day, I died in a couple of fights multiple times, and it was great because I was right there and I could try again, and I was learning the attack patterns. I was learning there was a mechanic with the troll that I had to figure out on how to beat him. I had to learn how like the repairing the weapon thing worked. I had to figure out what weapons were better and what weapons were not for the fight in particular. His movements, his telegraphs, my ability to navigate the fight. Like, I was fine with that. I was actually failing and learning in the failure what I should do differently. But there's nothing to learn about saving in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I have a full intellectual capacity of, not capacity, I have a full intellectual understanding of the saving mechanic. And I have concluded that it is stupid and unhelpful. It doesn't enhance the experience. It is tedious. You know, it's just it's just an exercise in tedium. I carry all those potions until I could afford a room. I mean, I could see somebody arguing that the mechanic of needing a room and going back to the room and taking the risk of going out into the wild, threatening world and then making it back to save it, somebody could say that is a simulation worth experiencing. You know, I like it. You feel like it's an immersive simulation of, it's a threatening world. It's truly scary to be out in the woods, and your means of saving is like a limited potion stockpile or going back to your bed, and you think that adds this level of, you're there. Respect. I get it. I'm not there for that in a game anymore, man. I'm just not. That's not going to happen for me mentally. I'll give you an example. It's like when I was playing Outlast and I was scared and it was working and it was doing its job as a scary game. And then I got to the basement where I had to sneak past a guy and I was just messing it up. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out the timing. Well, it wasn't scary anymore. Immersion shattered into 1,000 pieces because now I'm watching an NPC and listening to an NPC and trying to time sneaking past him. I'm no longer in a state of fear. I am now in a state of figuring it out. A different part of my brain is now active. A different part of my brain's active. Well, now I'm trying to figure it out. So in a game like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, the minute that pain point shows up with the save, now it's this gnawing sense of like paralysis of like, well, if I go and do something, I'm going to lose my progress. Losing progress is devastating because of my personal life. Like, real life is now, track with me here, real life is now present in the game. Oh, no, thank you. That's not what I want to do when I'm gaming. Think about what the pain point represents in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It represents a loss of time. It's why I don't play Sea of Thieves. I can't risk that. I can't risk my evening being taken from me. So then, when I'm playing the game, the tension, the fear, the potential frustration of losing progress is interwoven with my real life. It's like, I've got an hour, and if I lose this progress, my entire evening's been wasted. I don't have another hour to give right now. You see, immersion is destroyed at that point because now you have the intersection of real life. That's what's present in the game. That's what's creating the tension. That's not a good tension point in a video game. If that's your mindset, how do you love Returnal and Rogue so much? Because, oh, well, if you pay close attention, Garrett, what are the type of rogues that I don't like? What are the type of rogues I don't like? What are they lacking? Why don't I play Brotato with my wife? Why don't I play Brotato with my son? What's it missing? Yo, what's good, Dig? There it is. Tenor said it. Meta progression. Meta progression. If there's no meta progression, my brain checks out because I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just spinning my tires. But if there's meta progression, even if I lose, I've made progress in Returnal. And I think Housemarque is keenly aware of this. No. A Brotato has co-op, but it has no meta progression, and that's why I don't play it. It just feels fruitless. It's like we get all the way to the end, and it's like if you die at the boss, well, you just got to do it again. It's just an exercise in RNG, which is weird because like the mobile version of Brotato actually has meta progression. I don't know why they've never brought it to consoles. Probably because it's tied to microtransactions and people would be critical. But anyways, so this is why Housemarque is going to make permanent progression more clear in Soros. Because there are people that watched my Returnal gameplay in 2025 video, and they're like, thank you so much for explaining this. And guess what? I've got people that have come back and rolled credits on Returnal because of my video. Why? I attuned their brain to the fact that you are making progress. And the minute that they sensed that, they could play. Their brain... The psychology changed for them because I made a video and explained that, yeah, no, you are making progress. You are. The weapons are stronger. You're getting new abilities. You're getting new things to find. You're getting new parasites to find. You are going to be stronger every time you play. And that's why Soros literally says, What's the tagline? Stronger. What's the tagline, dadgummit? What's the dadgum tagline? Come back stronger? I think that's it. Yeah, come back stronger. They're literally telling you Housemarque doesn't want anybody in the dark on that. Yeah, you get stronger the more you play. Yo, thank you, Death Knight, for jumping back in with the Member Plus. I appreciate you jumping back in, brother. Yeah, come back stronger. Because, yeah, the tagline he says in the trailer is, I always come back stronger. And then I think the tagline for the game is quite literally, come back stronger. They don't want anybody in the dark about the fact that, like, you are always stronger the next run, unless obviously you play for 2 seconds and die immediately and you're trash, and you're not going to come back stronger. You have to actually make a certain amount of progress in Soros. I'm assuming that you've got to make a certain amount of progress, to actually come back stronger. And so what that does is that changes the mind frame of the player. You're making progress even when you die. In Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, if I've not saved it for 45 minutes and I get attacked by wolves or jumped by bandits and I die, that 45 minutes is gone. It's been reduced to atoms. It is it's gone. I have nothing. It's like it didn't happen. That's the issue. That right there is like ripping a part of your... It's like you're like ripping a part of me away. It's like, I did all that stuff. I don't want to do that again. Like, and then my brain checks out. You still get stronger when you suspend or end a cycle. Suspending a cycle, FCAT, just lets you come back to where you were. So like, let's say you get to biome 3, which is the, so you've got biome 1, which is all of the dark. Biome 2 is like the desert. And then biome 3 is the one where it's red and there's big things. And then you've got the big boss at the end with the platforms and the face. Let's say that you're right outside of the boss. Okay? And you suspend the run. When you come back, you're right back at that point. Now, you can't abuse this because it deletes the save the minute you come back. So you can't, like, suspend the cycle outside of the boss, come back. If you're halfway through the fight You can't be like, oh, I'm going to bail and reload my save. No, your save's gone. It's literally just a check. It's just a way for you to, like, you know, go to sleep or go to work or something, and then you come back. I really like that they did it. It's actually rather brilliant, because I remember people saying it's really hard to be like, oh, I'm going to play some Returnal. You know, hopefully you have 4 hours. Hopefully you have 3 to 5 hours if you want to do a full run. Not a full run. You get a halfway point. After you beat Biome 3, you always start at Biome 4. So you only have to ever beat 3 biomes in a row. So it's basically a pause. I was glad that they added it. If anyone here hasn't played Returnal, I highly recommend it. It's great. It looks like people are chomping at the bit to play Helldivers. They're spamming Helldivers animated GIFs in the Discord. We're going to try this new feature. I want to try it today and see how exactly this works. Okay, let's do this. Save. I was going to do... Yeah, we're playing Helldivers here in just a second. I was going to do this as like a public stream on YouTube, but I didn't feel like being like on and like creating content. I just want to play. I just want to vibe and not have to think about that. Because and a lot of people have already shown off the gameplay anyways. So we're just gonna play. We're just gonna vibe. It's gonna be a members only stream. So okay. Oh, and the final stretch goal, I think we decided was, if we hit 1,000, I'll let you guys hear a second full song. We can be done. You guys don't need to keep going. Hang on, Tainted Grail pushed out a patch. I wonder if this is addressing anything. Revenge of the Savage Planet has pushed out a patch. I wonder if it's going to address anything. Has Revenge of the Savage Planet indicated at all about like a performance mode for console? Tainted Grail, I know Tainted Grail is trying to rectify the issues. Who's going to play with you? Some of these people have jobs. Now, some of them might be their day off. You're hearing it help performance on PlayStation, but Dave Langer is testing it now to be sure. I just booted up the game. It's still a stuttery mess. Hang on, let me check. Wait, I can change the resolution. Target FPS 60. VSync unlimited. VSync on. Yeah, so they're now letting me change a bunch of settings that I could not mess with before. It still stutters like crazy. Yeah, it's still not very smooth. And if I raise the resolution, it's atrocious. So if I raise it above the 1080, drop it to 1080, I did. I had it all the way to 1080 and I just raised it. Let me try unlimited on the FPS and see if that fixes it. No, it's still... Yeah, it's still just... It still is not it's not smooth at all. It's constantly stuttering on me. If I stop, stand still, and just do a spin test, it's fine, and there's minimal stuttering. Motion blur off, contrast, field of view. Wait, I have chromatic aberration off. I have everything off that would help performance. I will say, it's better, but it's still bad. It's still better. I'm sorry. It's better, but it's still bad. Yeah, the good news is they're working on it and they're making improvements, and it just came out. So the hope would be that in like a month it could be right where they want it. I mean, I would say take some take some heart and some encouragement. Okay, I'm going to see if Savage Planet has done anything. Update from the team. That's old. Let me go to options. Yeah, there's nothing in here. Yeah, I don't think Revenge of the Savage Planet did anything for performance. It's probably just bug fixes. Every time they've tweeted about the game and patches, it's always been bug fixes. Yeah, it's still 30. Yeah, it's still 30. I assumed it was. It would be pretty big news. It would be pretty big news if Revenge of the Savage Planet did that. I feel like people would come to me and say something about it. Okay, let me go up here. It's the show today. 10-second breakdown. Grub indicated PlayStation's doing something in June. It's either going to be a state of play right before Summer Game Fest, or it's going to be a state of play the week before Death Stranding 2, and it will be about 40 minutes long. That's all the sources we have. Bungie has been accused of man, you get into a 60 FPS game after a game that's not smooth, like Helldivers is just like whip. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm on my ship if anybody's going to be trying to join me to play. Yeah, Bungie has been accused of covering up harassment, which I'm not surprised. I said they were doing that 4 years ago. I said they were a bad and untrustworthy company a long time ago. And yeah, here we are. So, just not surprised at all. And then Lies of P is adding difficulty settings that will come with their DLC. And it has been described as there's two difficulties below normal, and the one that's like the lowest has been described as laughably easy. Okay, I got Jaster and Tycho with me. Okay. All right. Dynamic motion update for Bunny. Let's take a look here for research purposes. Video won't play. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that honestly, that looks ridiculous. Like it clips and everything. Like it looks genuinely silly. It looks like one of those dolls that people, like the one cops found the one on the road and they were like kicking it and it looked like it was like full of water. That just looks ridiculous. Like it doesn't even look, I'll be honest with you, like it doesn't even look like attractive. It looks weird. I don't know. Pull it up. I've got all my stuff changed. All my stuff's changed. Okay, so all right, we're gonna try this new feature. Okay, members only stream. I'm gonna give you guys a 10-minute warning. I'm gonna set this for VIP Plus so a bunch of people don't get notified, and then I'm gonna change it. Okay. I'm gonna go back here on the back end, and I'm gonna say monetization on. We're going to set it to unlisted. And we're going to change the thumbnail. Where is the thumbnail? There it is. We're going to say Helldivers 2 Community Game Day. Members only. Members only playlist. I don't know if me doing this is going to break the feature, though. We tried this yesterday, and I think it will work. I think it'll work. Okay, now I'm going to switch it to a members-only stream. There we go. So it should show up as a members-only stream in the members-only playlist, and it should send you guys over. So right now, the countdown at the top of the screen, it should let you guys. I shouldn't have to spam a link or anything. Well, no, I can play. I just need a friend code. We are actually already good to go. I've already got a squad. I appreciate your willingness to jump in. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to say monitor that chat. I died with you, but I'm at work. Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. Okay. So right now, you guys have 7 minutes to get ready, and it's going to end this stream. It's going to automatically start the new stream. And it will, the redirect process is smoother. So we're trying this today. We're trying this today where I scheduled and changed the title and everything. Only getting carried. Totally getting carried. I'll be right back. Okay. Now, I don't have this set at Member Plus and above, but if you guys click on that timer at the top, I think it will let you upgrade as well. It should help with that. It should help with people trying to upgrade. It's a new feature that they're letting us use. Okay, what loadout should I go for? I heard that the one that everybody is leveling up is the... Is it the Liberator Penetrator? Is that what everybody's going for? It says you're all set. Great. Save. Okay. Weapon customizations dump. Penetrator is the best AR. Okay. My throwable. I've always liked the impact one. I've not ever really tried the other ones. Oh, you can pick this ahead of time now, but what if somebody else picks the one that you pick? Can you change it when you go down? Oh, it's just telling you what you've unlocked. Oh, okay. Okay, 3 minutes. 3 minutes, boys. It'll you guys on YouTube. And here I'll switch directories on which Helldivers 2. Trying out the new content. Okay. Oh, here, let me change the thumbnail on the stream. It's about to end. You watched them play the other day. It looked fun. I think it's so cool that they've brought such a significant amount of content, like new enemy types. You know, we're fighting in cities. You know, that's awesome. And then the weapon customization. I think it all looks great. Okay, minute and a half on YouTube. Again, this is a more seamless redirect. We're going to start using this. Unfortunately, we can't use this for premieres. Hopefully, they update this feature and we can use it for anything to redirect because it works better than the traditional redirect. All right, 1 minute and counting. I wanted to make sure I had enough time to change everything, so we're just kind of in a bit of a holding pattern here. I'll put the member count up just in case YouTube decides to go... I'm sorry, just in case Twitch decides to go crazy. YouTube will no longer be allowed to gift once we get into this new stream, so you guys have 30 seconds if you want to make a mad dash. We were going to do another full-length song tonight. So tonight, I'm going to be playing VR drum game for you guys. I'll be playing more of the music. I will let you hear a song in its entirety. You guys unlocked all that stuff. So 20 seconds. 20 seconds. We could start doing this and really make it fun too, like a mad dash scramble like we used to, like gift a bunch and pull a bunch of people with us to the new stream. We don't have time for that now because there's only 10 seconds left, but here we go. It should. I think it switches all my stuff over. It should just switch all of you over.